Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast, Rafa Esparza. We've got Caceres. We've got Kroom fighting right in front of us on the television. If you are joining us right now for the very first time, welcome. If you were here for the earlier broadcast, we appreciate you as well. In fact, maybe if not a little bit more, just kidding. We love you all right now. But we got a great fight in front of us. Caceres starting to knock him around just a little bit, and Kroom starting to feel the pressure coming in a little bit hot over on Caceres. And Caceres with what looks like double unders, but a lot of that is just reach. We're actually going to go live right now over on the Instagram as well. So everybody hold on tight. Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast, Rafa Esparza. We are going live right now, watching a fight companion. It's the main card. Hope you guys are excited for it. Let's do this shit. We got Caceres, we got Kroom, we've got you guys, and you guys. It is going to be a great night for grappling, a great night for fighting. Feel free to hit me with your comments, your questions. What is up, Bryce? Good to see you, bro. How's the rib section? You feeling okay? Little baby rib? Not feeling so good? You got a little problem right here? Or is it right here? Either way, I legitimately hope you're doing okay, sir. Yes, Kroom Caceres right in front of us. Kroom getting kept at bay with a few of these kicks. He kicks in on one of his own. Does not really reach. Instead, Caceres was about to counter with a nice hook there. Does not get to it. I saw you said you were back to rolling, but I know the way that you roll, and I know that you're a dumb goon about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're going back harder than you should be. So take it easy, my friend. When you say rolling, you should be going light. Light is the suggestion for you. Abode, good to see you, my friend. We are getting everybody showing back up into the broadcast. If you're watching us over on Facebook, give us a like and a share, and we will give you a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. What is up, Will? How do you say the name? It's Will I Isness. Caceres without the black power. It's Black History Month. I don't think I can say these things, sir. I think you're trying to get me canceled out here, fam. Kroom working on trying to get a takedown here, has double underhooks, now starting to take out one of the legs of Caceres. Caceres doing an excellent job of maintaining his position on the fence, starting to try and repummel on his own underhooks here, not getting it. And I do see that you were saying I'm sad. Well, deal with your sadness. I'm just saying you can do worse. Is one of those things. But here we go. Kroom still working with Caceres up against the cage. It is a pleasure to have you guys. We talked a little bit about Gordon and Galvo. We will get back to that. I'm pretty positive. It's going to be a long night. We're still here for 5 fights. The first of 5 going on right now. Just as a reminder, you give us a like and a share on Facebook. We give you a toast. I see a fuck that. Woo! Caceres trying to get out of this kind of crab ride to the back. Body lock into a little bit of a crab ride. However, he gets Caceres back in his guard. Caceres looks like he's just going to start striking from inside of the guard. There's a loose guard right now, not closed, and Caceres is landing a couple of these. Kroom having to give up position as he's just shooting his way in. Now may have to deal with what looked like a guillotine, but instead slips out. Kroom staying very loose on his feet thus far in. Goes back to attacking the lead leg. Does not get much for it. Caceres now gets an opportunity to work with control from the back. And let's see if he turns into him. Yes, he does. Kroom going right back in, putting Caceres back up against the cage. What's up, Bobby? Good to see you, my friend. And it says, Caceres always brings it. Love that guy. I do too, man. Caceres is fun to watch. So, it is good to see him back up this way. Appreciate you guys all tuning in on the different places in which you are watching this. Feel free. Send your comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all the questions you got. I'm willing to answer most of them. If they're good. If they're not good, it's not on me. It's on you. Make them good. 15 seconds left to go. You're seeing Kroom trying to drag him down again with that body lock takedown. Crab ride does not get it, but he stayed on better. Caceres was trying to knock him out when he got separated for a split second here. Both of these guys getting in some good strikes to end the very first round. And it says, sorry, champ, I lost the signal. Ribs healing up. Back to rolling, but gotta keep it light. Well, now that you told me that, when we roll, doing nothing but rib compression submissions. So, noted that in the dome. Will attack the rib. Thanks for asking. Of course, I care. How can you support us? Give us hearts over here. Like, press the screen, make hearts go up here on this broadcast. Again, like and a share. It gets a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. It's that simple. We don't ask for a ton. We're not like other shows that do dumb shit and then ask for lots of money. We are not asking you for dumb shit yet. Maybe one day, but for right now, we want you guys to just enjoy having good company. We know it's a rough time. You probably can't get together with your friends. You probably can't do too much. Stay at home, watch the fights with us, even when sometimes they're not always the greatest of fights. We've had some, so-so fights tonight. So we're all working through it. Round number 2, going up in front of us, Kroom Caceres. And you've got Kroom in the blue trunks and Caceres coming through in the black trunks. Kroom coming in with like steamrolling option on his wrestling and creating a lot of chaos energy on this side in a clinch for a split second. Comes in with a good hook, but Caceres finds his way, skips out, and Caceres with a beautiful inside hook of his own. Nicely done there. Oof. It does look like Kroom's wrestling has been the story of the fight thus far in. He's continuously finding that body lock from the back. The real key, though, is he drags down Caceres, but Caceres has excellent balance in these positions. Kroom now trying to crawl up. He has one hook that he's using more as an anchor point than anything. Caceres doing his best to try and separate the hands, but not finding a ton of success. Instead, he might turn into him, but that leg is slightly compromised. And it said, like I said, you're better than the Brazilian streams, so I'll be on here's. Appreciate it. What is up, David Nguyen? Hope you're having a great day. Chill along with us. We watching us some UFC Vegas 20 fights right now. Look at this. It's the incomparable one, Anthony Arnal, our friend, showing back up in the comment section, waving at us. I will wave at you, sir. Appreciate y'all. 3:18 left on my clock. Hopefully you are in the same vicinity as well. Caceres closing up his guard, but Kroom's wrestling has been the star of the show thus far in. Every time you see Caceres start to get things on the very beginnings of an offensive, you see Kroom very quickly negating it with a good takedown or at least a good position point. But the striking has been in the favor of Caceres, and that is part of the reason why you see Kroom doing his best to make sure he stays out of harm's way. So that has been the story of the fight thus far in. What are you guys feeling? What are you guys thinking? Talk to me. Of course, today's broadcast, it's not brought to you by, but I'm just drinking it. It is Little Beast Brewing, Oregon crafted. It is a Maiden West IPA. It's not bad. Feeling pretty good with it thus far in. Ooh, we are in on a triangle. This could be very bad for Kroom. Says Alex, locking it up from our good friend Andrew Loya. He is grabbing underneath that leg, which is going to give him some time. I think if he attacks that arm just a little bit more, he should have it. A few of these adjustments. Oh, he has to let it go. I think he understood it's going to be too much to keep that triangle locked on if he's going to inch his way out, but an exciting moment. How can I get a cheers, Raph? I haven't really cracked that code for Instagram. I saw you give a lot of hearts. Cheers to you, my boy. I appreciate that. I'm thinking about it. Give me some time. What's up, Sweatshop Eddie? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. It's been a long time. I have not seen you in ages, my friend. Meanwhile, back on the screen, Caceres has Kroom in his guard, and he's doing that weird lanky people bullshit that most people can do, but I cannot. Almost looked like he was going to slip into 3 or 4 different submission attempts in that. Does not get any of them, but for a split second, you thought maybe he's going to take the arm here. Caceres now back up. Kroom, not very pretty in his attempts to do so, but is at least following him along here. But look, I'm seeing some friends show up right now. I see cheers to you. I'll talk about that in a second. What up? What is up, Torres, BJJ? Good to see you guys all here playing along with us on this beautiful night. Jolito, you came back, friend. It's nice to see you, man. Yes, we are in the middle of the very first fight of the main card. Not bad action thus far in. Caceres has been negated with a lot of Kroom's wrestling in this very first fight. So we're at least off to a better start in this one. And as according to one Abode in our comment section, great fucking fight. That's what's up. I would agree with that. It's almost like Abode is trying to host this show. Abode's now doing like that first person greeter, the hostess, when you get to a restaurant that goes, "Hey, pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for showing up. Are you and your whole party here?" Excellent. I'm going to get your waiter for you in just a few moments. What's up, Pedrinho? 20 Alex. What is up, the real Coach Sandbag? Good to see you guys. Sorry, bro. No, you do your thing, man. You're keeping it social here. I want people to talk to each other. Coach Sandbag with the wave here. So how does one become a Coach Sandbag? Because sandbag in our sport tends to mean that we hold you back from your full potential, or we're not truly reporting it. So are you like a better coach than advertised? Are you like a secretly good coach? I'm intrigued. Or are you the captain of sandbagging? Because I kind of respect that. Just curious. What is up, Line U Villanova? So many of you guys are showing up. I am so happy to see all of you guys here for UFC Vegas 20. What's up, Shango? Woo! We addressed the Gordon and Galvo situation. We'll do that again a little bit later just to fill you in. And it says, at white belt won a lot. Coaches complained to my coach early on. Oh, that's so sad. That's not your fault. You're good. It says, many years of keeping the students at white belt. That's fair. Okay. I was a white belt for a very long time, so I kind of feel some sympathy. Jesus Christ. As Kroom was slipping, he got in a beautiful cross there. But Caceres starting to rock him a few times. Shit, dude. Caceres needs to stay on him because Kroom's balance is on tilt right now. And I think that Caceres just has to be weary of these shots. He's got a guillotine in, but he's not doing too much with it. Turning it into a dirty fight plays more into Kroom's game. Now he's just got to avoid some knees, avoid the ability, spasm out just a little bit, but under his control. And you do see Caceres being very cautious on this. A very interesting approach by both of these gentlemen. You are getting the impression that Kroom's shots do not have the urgency that they once had. He might be able to get a trip here on Caceres, and that would be huge at this moment. I see a note here. It says, legs looking like noodles. I would agree with that. Very much so. It says, I'm from a boat. I spent 5 years as a white belt. Dude, this is more like it's like a weird Alcoholics Anonymous version of like, they didn't promote me. My name's Raph, and I was a white belt for 5 years. And I just want to thank you guys. It's been good to have this support group. I mean, I was submitting purple belts, and I thought I should get that blue belt. But, you know, every day's a struggle. Every day's tough, you know. I'm just trying to be the best jiu-jitsu person I can be. Caceres back on the game, though. Woo! Kroom wrestling tendencies coming in. There is a nice, what should we call it there? He could do a crucifix there, but he's not there. And I see this as Brazilian coaches are rough on you. Oh, no, I know. I have a Brazilian coach. And he's, you know, I went to a place where I didn't want to be just gifted something because I did attendance. You know, the schools. And, you know, I found a group that kind of worked for me. So they've been very kind to me over the years. And Caceres being kind here to Kroom. He doesn't overcommit to these situations. It's almost as if he gives them like a gentleman's agreement to get back up here. And yes, just looking the power depletion here from Kroom. Ugh. A Granby straight into a hammer fist, but that was like a backhammer fist. That's incredible. You said you mean Gracie schools. I didn't say that. You said that. And I don't know that's exactly what I was trying to say. Weird. I don't know why you would get that impression. But yeah, I mean, if there's a school that just promotes you because you're around, I can't say that, it's not that. It's just that's on them. That's not my thing. Take a note. Anytime I do sip my beer very cautiously like that, it's usually saying something like that. So, just kidding. Anyway, we got hooks in. We'll have to see if Caceres is able to make do and get a finished submission here. I see a Joseph Goodman here, and it says, Grace, I mean, yeah, I know. Chose. I see a rear naked choke possibility here. Could be a short choke, and you do see Kroom pushing it on out. Kroom is just... I have to say this, dude. His cruise control is still better than most people in a room. But Caceres could very well get a submission here. He is peppering in a few strikes from the back. Kroom's toughness is really not for debate. Kroom just trying to plead with this leg to stay on the inside, as he's so exhausted he can't even really punch him from his back being compromised. He can push off the arm with almost ease, but it doesn't seem like that Caceres is fully committing to this. I think Caceres just keeps doing it to hold positional control, but I get the feeling Caceres would like the finish here as he starts stretching it out. That body triangle never feels okay. That is exhausting. There's 24 seconds. Caceres, you can get this finish, dude. We believe in you. You got to commit to this rear naked choke, dude. And you need to leave just enough time so that you can actually tap, because the issue he's running into now is more of that of time. And there is just 7, 6, 5. That means we will expire on the time within regulation. And it says, I still can't believe Caceres beat Kron Gracie. If that's the Caceres, whoa, fighting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Kron... That was a rough fight to watch. Kron got the shit kicked out of him on that one. But, we've seen a lot of instances, maybe even just this week, of where jiu-jitsu doesn't always work against strikes or slaps. Who said that? Anyway. It says this dude has been around forever. He doesn't get talked about enough as he deserves. Yeah, he has been around forever. It's hard, man. Sometimes you get to a certain plateau within the UFC, but then people forget you can be a really good talent. But the problem is the UFC continues to get new good talent all of the time. And I see Green-Eyed Bandita. That's a cool name. And it says, I would like to see Alex cross-train with Wonderboy. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't. Here's why. That's like watching two Stretch Armstrongs spar. Don't need it. I say this just as a person who's not tall. It's more the reason why I'm mad at it. If there are two people who are tall, not necessary. What is up, Ramey? Good to see you, bro. Hope you've been good. Hope the gym is well. When things are settled down, I owe you guys a visit. I would love to see how things are going. Would love to do an interview out that way. Give some shine. We want to go back to gyms when it is possible to do interviews with gyms. I want to figure out some way to try to, tell people where the cool places are to train so that people can go do some drop-ins, help gyms with some, covering some finances. I think that'd be fun. But yes, Caceres gets it. And it says 24 fights in the UFC and no closer to a title. With eye roll emoji. Yeah, it's rough. I don't know what it says. It says, plus it's Wonderboy. You don't want to see him in trouble. It'd be probably very polite. He forever messed up Kron's UFC trajectory. Yeah. I don't know, though. Kron, last I read, was moving out of California to be more serious about fighting. So who knows what that's going to give to him. I want to say he was going to somewhere like a Montana. Something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. Kron's a weird cat, dude. Sometimes you get to a point where you just go, man, Kron looks like he doesn't even always want to do this 100%. So, yeah, that triangle choke actually could have been a finisher. But I think it's more Caceres in recognition of don't burn yourself out. I mean, I'll say this, dude, 24 fights. Dude had some vet moves in that one. So good for him. Bruce Leroy getting done. Let's see what he has to say to Paul Felder. Felder starts with a congratulations there. And he asked, is that the type of fight you were expecting? He said yes. Says yes, they expected that kind of pace for sure. So it looks like he doesn't have the kind of Bruce Leroy hair, and instead tonight is opting for more of the Bruno Mars-ish hair. Yeah, Caceres is admitting what I was postulating maybe about a minute ago, where he said, hey, he's just probably going to hold that and burn out more of his energy. What is up, Z Carlos? Tramulta. I see a hashtag by Bruce. So Felder's trying to instigate with a 4-fight win streak. And Caceres is making a good point here and saying, honestly, I think it's time for a goddamn ranked fighter, dude. He says he just wants to fight. That was pretty succinct. Nothing too crazy about it. And Felder's trying to put him over. And that's it. That was super boring, but okay. I see you, fam. Oh, good lord. All right. Well, friends, we are off to a great start for tonight. I'm going to take a quick look to see who has liked and shared the program. If you give us a like and a share over on our Facebook, we will give you a toast on air. That is the rule. It's super simple. What's up, Haps323? Is that an area code that you reside in? Just wondering. Gonna check in. It says he has been for a while now. Yeah, I know. That's tough, dude. These things are super ridiculous to see how people get kind of caught up in the wayside every once in a while. It says, respect for B-Law for taking the Leon fight. An excellent point there, sir. You bring up a good point here, which is, according to Woods, asks, is that a tattoo or ringworm on Caceres? Hashtag the most interesting thing about Caceres. Here, you know what? I'm going to say this right now. I figured this out. You gave us a share, so I can do your toast right now, Woods, right? Let me double check this. Yes, you did give us a share. Okay, I know what I'm going to say about you. This is a good time to remind you guys. If you give us a like and a share, we give you a toast on air. Hops323 says, from LA, man. Of course, dude, you have to be with the 323 area code. I know. I've grown up in LA forever. My whole life. Love it. Here's the toast. This one goes out to our friend, one according to Woods. Adam Woods. I think people don't understand this about you, but this toast is dedicated to you who shows up in our comment section to be an entirely different person than you appear as a host on your show. Because look at this comment. Is that tattoo or ringworm on Caceres? Hashtag the most interesting thing about Caceres. You would never say that to your guest, but you come to my show. It's like you have an alter ego. This is your Sasha Fierce that comes on to my show to say shit like this. I see you. I'm not against it. This is your heel personality. This is when you show up as Paul Heyman. Either way, cheers to you, bro. Thank you very much for the share. If you guys want one of those, like it and share on Facebook, Instagram, lots of hearts. Maybe I'll give you a toast, but not quite like that. Because those increase our engagement. I don't know what the fuck this does. Honestly. I know that this gets people to, like, give us more views and whatnot. And it says, okay, so apparently the chat on IG is headed over there. It says heel turn for Raph. I appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Drain Daddy LLC? Thank you for joining. I see you've made your way from one instance to another. But yes, we're about to make our way to the second fight. All right, while we got some time, throw your Gordon and Galvo questions at me. And it says, sorry, not too tech savvy. I'm trying. Hey, listen, the real Coach Sandbag, I appreciate that. I know you guys are all out there doing your best. I'm just saying, We appreciate when people come and tune into the show. So anything you can do to help, it helps us on the show. We appreciate it. All right, I'm going to bring up something about Gordon Galvo. It's kind of bugging me. And I know that a lot of people have different takes about the Gordon Galvo situation. See, look, a boat. I see all of his hearts. So I think one of the weirdest things about the Gordon Galvo situation is that it actually was some sort of invitation to people in the comment section after seeing Galvo get slapped to inform you of all of the things they would have done in that situation. Think about it like this. If you're going to see a clip, that's one thing. But to inform people of the things that you would have done in the situation is nothing more than hilarious. Because I have seen a number of people who, when commenting about it, even putting up live videos about it, have said very succinctly, you know what, I saw that and that slap is crazy. But I gotta tell you, if another man put their hands on me, I would fight them right then. I would fight them and they wouldn't get up. Yeah, sure, bud. We believe you. Because you know that the whole thing between Gordon and Galvo as a clip is a great opportunity for you to tell us how tough you are. This is why we have internet trolls. This is why we have ridiculous comments that go in those comment sections. And yet people wonder, why the fuck do our fans sound so stupid? Partially that, but nothing entertained me more. If you guys want to spend a good 20 minutes of your time, go to anywhere you see the clip. You know where they are. And just look up those comments and laugh your ass off. Because those people, they're the real tough guys. I see some notes. It's fan fiction. Dead Grappler Society. What's up? And Walter SYT. It's just a good time to tell people, I'm so tough that I would have hit him with one of these and these and like these. It's just like, it's so fucking stupid. But there are so many people who told you that. And a lot of them, granted, are jiu-jitsu people who, some of them are also fighters, but they really had to let you know. Like, speaking of that slap, here's a good opportunity for me to tell you a little bit of why I'm so tough. Yeah. On the flip side of this whole situation, you should probably also take a moment to realize that the real hard part of this situation is that, yeah, it's a weird conundrum now for Andre Galvo. Because there are people who are saying, like, bro, you got slapped in the face. You kind of have to do something. And you have some people who said, you know what, you should give up your black belt right then and there. Jolito says, everyone that left comments had faded tap out shirts. Dude, it's so great. I feel like, and I gotta tell you guys, it's more than just trolls. It's more just internet trolls that are putting them in. Prominent people who have followings were creating live videos just to let you know what they would have done in the situation. It's just the internet remains undefeated. It's really what it comes down to. But it's always great because I think the other thing I see is when somebody puts the tough guy statement and then you see the people who like that comment, do a solid as well. Go visit some of their profiles because it will tell you a lot about America. Imagine having a faded out tap out t-shirt. Oh, I got a story for you guys on that one. Joseph Goodman, I've had a lot of people tell me that same thing in person. What is the same thing? So what did they tell you? Because I want to make sure I'm referencing the right thing here. Because if it is what I think it is, that's amazing. The whole thing's just a mess. So at one point, my wife sees me over on the couch. And I gotta be honest with you, there have been times in my life where I've seen something go up and I say, you know what, we're just not going to respond to that. We're not going to do that footage. But I remembered looking at my wife when that all happened and she goes, well, what just happened there? Like, do you want to explain to me what you're looking at? Because she could hear somebody being called a bitch on my phone. And I go, honestly, you don't need to know. It's really dumb. And she goes, yeah, all right, that's cool. So Joseph clarified and said, I had a lot of people tell me that same thing in person, that they would have fought him then and there. That would have been fun to watch. Because not only are they not somebody like Andre Galvo, who has fought, I guess we should really make sure that we clarify that. Andre Galvo has fought. That was a long time ago. And he does have knockouts. But most of the people saying that aren't also Andre Galvo. So it's a tricky little piece in there. I guess the other thing that they're probably not thinking when they say that they would have fought him right then and right there is that Andre Galvo only got slapped. The people who are saying what they would have done in that situation, would have been a much worse highlight. Let's correct that. The people who said that they would have done something to Gordon, would have been a much better highlight for Gordon. So, just saying. It says, last Brazilian on the card, my last chance of, fireman, the fuck out of Jimmy. So, you say stuff like that. I still believe in my heart that that is the Brazilian version of, whoop, there it is. Jolito says, just for fun, who would have won? There wasn't so many people around when he got slapped, but it would have gone for a bit. Yeah, who the fuck is breaking that up? Like, dude, I don't like people to fight. It's not really my MO. But with Gordon and Galvo, they've said so much shit to each other. I'm the kind of guy that goes, nah, let them. They're good. Let's let this go for a few minutes. Let's make sure there's no real head trauma here. But they can punch each other if they want. I'd rather watch it that way, because then I don't have to pay for it. Because as some of our people and us have alluded to, if that's selling you some wolf tickets or the potential for a fight in the future or a match, it's going to cost you a lot more. Let me see here. But Jolito, how do you not say Gordon would have won that? I mean, based off what we've seen, Gordon's supposed area of expertise is also Galvo's area of expertise. So the jiu-jitsu might be weird. And I think a lot of people are presuming that Gordon would potentially have beaten Andre Galvo in a match, even to suggest that part of the reason why Galvo was running away from him in the match scenario is because maybe he figured he just couldn't beat him. So he priced himself out. That's a theory that people have put together. I am of the mindset that Gordon's younger. Gordon has been way more current. I know Galvo still keeps up to date, but he is younger. And he seems to enjoy a lot more acai. Right? In the Bronx where I'm from, a slap is more insulting than a slap. I mean a punch. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, a slap is straight out disrespectful. Like, a slap isn't like you got hurt. A slap is more, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions if you didn't do something. That's the real harm here. Gabby 100% would have dove in and broke it up. The thought of Gabby Garcia coming in and making it a three-way fight, a fatal three-way match, would have been the best WWE BJJ moment of all time. You let them settle it like a Western movie. I wish they would have. There are just some people, like, dude, for the most part, when you see me, I will break up fights. I will do my best to make sure people are non-violent to each other in most settings. But with those two, even I'm like, let them fight. You know what? Let them get it out of their system. The direct translation is, oh, you gonna die. I know that much. Someone explained it to me, but it does sound like, there it is. Like, I will never not think of it as a bunch of Brazilians having a very aggressive version of, there it is. So, but it's just a saying. What's up to Joe Tape, BJJ? It's hard not to think, LOL, I think Gordon wins too. It's just the way I think most of us now see it as. Think about it like this too. So Gordon was pissed because he just couldn't get Galvão to take a fight with him, right? And then he gets flipped off while trying to shake his hand, which I know Gordon tries to make it as an American form of, I respect you, but I think Galvão's not wrong in flipping him off. I think Galvão's within his rights to be like, fuck you, dude. This is not just a fight. This is not just a match you're selling here. What does become dicey is when Galvão goes to confront him, and then when he does go to confront him, kind of is like in his face, and then to almost be surprised, like you got slapped, is that weird nebulous of, well, what did you think was going to happen? If you came up and you're kind of coming aggressively toward him, I think you're prepared to go that route. And if you don't explore that route and you stand there saying like, I can't believe it, he's so childish, he hit me. And it's like, well, you did go to him after you guys had the weird thing. I don't really see how that would have gone. Also, if somebody flicks me off and I feel the need to go fight them, you can't live in California. You can't live in New York. I get flipped off at least 4 times a day. You know what happens when somebody flips you off? You just go, no, fuck you, dude. It's a competition of who has the better fuck you. At that point, you don't even care who is in the wrong. You're in the right. That's what you do. So to take the higher ground on Gordon's part and be like, oh, I can't believe he flipped me off. It's like, did you get mad at him for flipping you off? Like, who gives a fuck? You should have just been like, well, fuck you too. And the fact I was insulted that Gordon didn't give him a return flip of the bird, because that tells me under pressure that Gordon, not so aggressive with this. What is up, Aloha-ness? And it says, not to cut the combo, but this fight's about to be a goddamn banger. I know. Pedro is friends with the show. It says, yep. Uma ver. And it says lots of acai from those bloodstream. Yeah, absolutely. Dogfight Dojo. Love this fight. We all do. Here we go, guys. I'm excited for this. Glad you guys are all here. Let us get together. Let's go, Pedro. Pedro is a friend of ours. Pedro once showed me his guillotine. It is powerful. I had a great guillotine for the week after I learned it from him. Boo! Nervous about the flying high kick right there. And by flying, I mean kicking so aggressively, you begin to take flight. Of course, you've got Munoz over in the black trunks, and then in the white trunks, you have Rivera. So that's actually almost more silverish if we're getting there, or gray. But these guys are coming out so wangin' right now. Rivera, I couldn't tell, but I don't want to bring up the bald spot, but it's really hard not to. But I'm pretty sure there was a weird bald spot on a round of hair that is reminiscent of the days when Gary Tonin couldn't grow out his hair. But it says, if this sequel is as good or anyone near good as the beginning, ooh, and already with a knockdown here. Beautiful. Drain Daddy coming in to say he loves this fight. We all do, though, man. And I see a note from Abode that says both killers. Absolutely. This is going to be probably, if there's any of us who are going to get excited for tonight's fights, this is probably one of the ones, right? All right, here we go. Backfiring. One and done. Oh, nice. Right there by Pedro on the inside, timing it nicely. Dude, this makes me so concerned because I don't know that we're going to see the setup on the knockout if there is one in this fight. I think what's going to happen is it's going to become so reactionary from one of these fighters that it's just going to be out of their own 1-2 of their opponent. Good kick there. Ooh. Nice exchange. Rivera catches Munoz right on top of the button there for a split second. Woo! How are you guys feeling so far? Oh, I like the idea of trying to go in for the takedown. I just don't think that that's really going to work on Munoz just yet. I think you got to pepper him up a little bit more. Now we're seeing both of these gents be a little bit more cautious of one another. Pedro gets a nice kick up into the body of Rivera. I think the slip is going to be super important. Woo! Rivera coming in with a few kicks. It says, yo, Raf, wish we could take a puff and have some cold ones over a card. I'm going to tell you something, and I hope this doesn't break your heart, but I don't smoke. I only look like a smoke guy. I'm not. Kevin is the pothead on the podcast. I'm way more boring. So that's just me. 2 minutes left to go in round number 1, and you're seeing a nice exchange. Like, both these guys literally just went for leg kicks. Cold ones are fine. Oh, yeah, I'll drink with you all day, man. Nice kick there by Munoz, who follows it up with a solid 1-2 combination. Oh, look at these clips, both of these hooks. If you're looking at the way Rivera's just connecting, man, it is something to behold. If there was really any fight to be excited about for tonight, you got to say it's this one, right? Like, I know Angela Hill was the talk of the evening, but how are people going to sleep on this? Anytime I see Pedro Munoz on a card, I get excited. And that was beautifully timed. I'm wondering, though, Rivera kind of telegraphing right now that maybe his left lead leg, nice chop there by Pedro, starting to look a little dicey. So let's see what he starts to do in capitalizing on it, or if he's got to change stances because of it. And I see a F real. Holy calf kicks indeed. Jesus Christ, we got Robin up in this bitch. And just on a weirdly caught kick, Munoz loses his balance but goes straight back on over to that lead leg. And now look at the duress that Rivera is under. Every time duress happens to that lead leg, you see him counter with just like that. Hey, if I'm going down, I'm trying to punch you to go down in the Pete Sprawl way with me. And he says, love Jimmy's stance. He's just always up. I would agree with that, dude. This is a phenomenal fight. Oof, 30 seconds left to go in round number 1. I do not want this to end, but I am willing to see it go all 3 rounds. And importantly, it is to note, why isn't this 5 rounds? I could see this go, especially if these guys are going to be fucking rubber the entire time. Though I guess, man, given the output from both of them, that's a lot of fucking life to lose. Ooh. Now, look at how he's bouncing off of that leg. He's trying to make it seem like it's part of his fighting stance. But for a split second, dude, he looked like he was nursing it. Even walking over to his corner did not look great. All right, how'd you guys score that one? I think from the leg kicks and the damage that they've been doing, you kind of have to give it a little bit more of the edge to Pedro Munoz. And again, I'm going to take myself out of the equation because he is a friend of the show. But Drain Daddy LLC says, straight banger of a fight. Love it. Yes, absolutely. Tell me in the comment section, who do you guys have winning that first round? It doesn't mean anything. They're icing his leg. Ah! Everybody's just super concerned. And I love the fact that if I am his opposite corner, if I am Pedro Munoz's corner, you don't even need to see the iced leg. You just know that's where you need to target. If you are able to create a series of problems for that leg, I see right here, Jolito coming in with Pedro, Drain Daddy, Pedro, sharp focus on that leg. Pedro comes back out, hands up, all business, man. Oh, this is exciting. This is so good. Yeah, Rivera wants to clip one of those kicks. He wants to catch it mid-range and then return with one of his punches. And he does get a little bit of a knockdown. Pedro coming in. He does have a leg. This is a potential knee bar. Oh, heel hook. Heel hook section right now. And very quickly, you are seeing Rivera try to go for one of his own. And Munoz, wanting no part of it, be very cautious of what could have been a spinning back elbow there, but instead was a knee. So I see over here, I see Jamie's corner has old man Greg hair. And it says, Jimmy won't be able to plant and throw those bombs anymore. Very great observation, Cholito. And Drain Daddy popping like the true mark he is for a heel hook. I got to be honest with you. If he finished by heel hook, I would have put in a call tomorrow to Pedro. He wouldn't have picked up, but I would have called him. On top of all those leg kicks, he tried to heel hook him. Merciless. Bro, that's all I think people would do to me. I think I've gotten to that age now where I'm so old that people are like, yo, man, you probably break at nothing. And I go, yeah. And then they just immediately try to heel hook me. And I go, that's rude. I have to walk. I'm old. That's mean. That's why when people try to heel hook me now, I'm like, that's like an offense, dude. You might get arrested for heel hooking me. Back to the action in front of us. Ooh! Omid says, I'd be back. Look at you coming in like a little Terminator there. What the fuck are these guys even doing at this point? Jesus. King Omid, thank you very much for the follow over on Twitter. You know what? I'll give you a cheers. This cheers goes on out to you, Omid. Or Omid, I don't know how to say it. I still don't. Either way, you show up all the time, and every time you show up and you say, I be back, it makes me think it's like Anderson Silva showing up to this bitch. So cheers to you for inspiring us to love Anderson Silva. And delicious. All right, 241 left to work here. And looking just at the tippy toes for Juan Rivera. Trying to stay as best he can. Pedro was trying to set up a nice high kick there. Didn't connect, was blocked. Rivera coming in with a few kicks of his own. And now, when he sees Pedro load up for that kick, you see Rivera try to get in a few punches straight that way. Ben Folks is chiming in and saying, this fight has everything. Swangin' and bangin'. I would agree with that. Yeah, this is the story to come in on. This is the fucking fight. This is fucking great. You guys are just showing up for this. You picked the right time to show up here for the fight. Both of these gents almost kind of, you see maybe a split second of a smile from Rivera as he goes in to duck. Ooh! He is letting you know that left leg is not okay every time. Yeah, dude, we've all been there. Where you know something is fucked up with your leg, so you try to do that thing where you jump up on it as to say like, oh, it's fine. Ooh, another fucking kick that sprocks him out. Ooh. This is dope, dude. I love the calculated, methodical Pedro Munoz. Because if you really just know Pedro Munoz in the rounds as a grappler, you know he's super dangerous, man. He is somebody you do not want to let in on your grappling side. And to see the evolution of him as a stand-up fighter has been something to watch. And I'm super happy for the guy. He is a phenomenal fighter. Just so much talent in that guy. But Rivera's been pretty competitive. And again, we're talking about a very competitive. First round was Munoz 25-24 ahead. And just ahead by 19-14. So this is already becoming one of those fights that you're excited to be here to watch. I know I am. I'm glad we have some good company here tonight. Such a great fucking fight thus far in. Yeah, Rivera's really trying to telegraph a takedown here. I think if Munoz can time out one of these. Ooh. I think the quotation I just saw from ESPN.com, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think the quotation, at least from the corner that they are quoting right now, is one Jimmy Rivera saying, my calf is killing me. Ugh. Pedro, round number 2. Yeah, I would agree with that too. Levi, that bald broker. Levi, clarifying question. Are there other brokers named Levi who are not bald? I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I know everybody's got to have their hook. You know, like, I'm the Raph that hosts shows in MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. But the good ones. Is that what you're kind of monikering for yourself? I'm just curious. Okay, either way. Woo! It's a good time to remind you guys, if you like the show, you like what we're doing right now, give us a like and a share on Facebook. We will give you a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within the regulation time. So that's what we got. Joseph Pewitt. Good to see you here on the show. We're doing a fight companion. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day. Like and a share over on Facebook. You will get a shared cheers over on the broadcast. And yeah, Rivera, I think, knows he's got to fucking get the knockout here in this fucking fight. This is die a C, my friends. Alan Joban says, looking for Pedro to start going front kick to the body if he can't stop with the lead leg. Lots of people chiming in with their appreciation for this fight thus far in, and with good reason, man. This is a great, very tense, very strategic fight for both of these gentlemen. I get the feeling, though, Rivera is still not as far out of this as most people would assume. But of course, we here on the show rooting for friend of the show, one, Pedro Munoz. He has proved adept at catching, though, the kicks to the body. So Joban might be correct in maybe trying to go to the body with the kicks. I just feel like he's had more success in stifling and returning with crossfire on each of those. So what do I know? I don't fight. So I might just be making that up. Either way, we do have a low kick. So we got to take a moment here. What is up, Otamar? Solid nut shot. Jolito, what's a not solid nut shot? Just for clarification, what are we looking at here? Do you judge the nut shots on ranking of could have been better? You know, when I look at my nut shots, I want them to be just right on the money. It says Munoz is starting to sneak in on a lot of front kicks to the stomach. You know, he's been peppering those in, though. I've seen him do it. I think now the degree of him getting on the inside has been a little bit more successful. I think you just mentioned that. Ooh, yeah. I think Rivera is just feeling hurt all over, man. This is why so many of us aren't fighters. You get to this moment where you go, this is not fun. Like, why am I doing this? Joseph Goodman chimes in and says, I judge nut shots by the sound. Fair. It's kind of why yesterday when all of us heard the Gordon and Galvo slap, you know, if that slap didn't have a good sound to it, most of us would have been like, that slap had a good sound. I'll give him that. Is Rivera saying he needs another nut shot break? If you didn't take your full 5 minutes the first time, can you ask that they put them on the second time then? And be like, oh, I know I have 5 minutes, but I didn't use my last ones, so can I just put that ahead? I'm going to take 9 minutes now. What is up, Angel? Even non-solid nut shots are pretty solid. Yeah, I was about to say, you know, when somebody hit me with a soccer ball when I was playing soccer and it went straight to the nether regions, it's not like I looked at them and said, good shot. Honorable mention of not a solid nut shot was the Colby versus Usman foul. Okay. I mean, now I'm getting a scale of what you put out there. What is up, DJ Christopher? Welcome to the show. Hope you're having a great day. We're watching us some UFC Vegas 20. Only 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. Rivera, by my estimation, and granted, might be a little subjective on this one, I think he's behind because the significant strikes in round 3 are favored to Munoz at almost a 3-to-1 ratio. Angel Pharma says, hey, Hoffa, hope you're doing good. I'm doing great, brother. Hope you're doing okay. And DJ Christopher says, thanks, of course. We like to be kind and polite to the people who show up to have some fun with us. Especially as, dude, this has been such a great performance. by Pedro Munoz. Rivera's got 1 minute to try and do something. He's gonna need a finish here. And Rivera has finally switched his stance. And coming in, I mean, dude, Rivera figures, listen, dude, if this is going to be the way I go out, I got to go out a little bit stronger here. Munoz, though, his accuracy, 30 of 41 on his leg kicks. Rivera opening him up a little bit more at 40 seconds left to go. And I see over here by Jolito that says Jimmy is a different breed. I would have to agree with you. Almost catches a kick here. And just the body type that Jimmy has. If you look at the way he's, like, built, like, dude is fucking a tank for that size, man. That's the kind of person who, even when I'm grappling with, I just look and think to myself, they're going to feel like 100 pounds heavier than they really are, huh? If they know how to use their body and their mechanics, especially at that, like, dense of a size, it's a tough role, kids. But I have to give him credit. I mean, I think that he put up a much better fight for the second half of this third round. Pedro Munoz comes over, and the two of these guys, they know they put on a great fight, as they should. That's what's up. Woo! All right, tell me your scores. Do you guys think that Pedro didn't win one of those rounds? I'm curious to know. I feel it's Pedro. Gonna be a 30-27. I can maybe hear one of you saying that some of those strikes in that third round could go a little bit more for Jimmy towards the second half, but in my opinion, I still think Pedro did enough all three of the rounds. Jolito says, I hope they run it for a third time. Imagine being those two guys getting that as the dance card they get sent, and they just go, again? What the fuck, man? Like, why the fuck you gotta do this? Brent Akamoto says, bravo, Pedro Munoz and Jimmy Rivera. Hell of a fight, hell of a rematch. Rivera showing crazy toughness in the third round to come forward on one leg. Munoz should win. Series is 1-1. Maybe we'll see 3 someday. If we do, I'm sure it will be awesome. Yeah, Drain Daddy coming in strong, saying all 3 should be 30-27. But don't challenge UFC judges. If there's anything we've learned in the past, don't invite them to make bad decisions, because like a teen mom in high school, they will make those bad decisions if you challenge them. Let's hear the official decision right now. 30-27 on 2 and 29-28, and Pedro is raising his arm knowing that he gets the nod here. An unfortunate look from Jimmy Rivera, but he has no reason to look down in shame. He looked really solid, all things considered. It's just, that's a fucking tough fight, dude. It's one of those fights where if you're his coach and you go back there, you obviously have things to work on. But if he comes back to you and goes, fuck, what more could I have done? There's kind of a moment where you look at him and go, dude, it was a good fight. We're going to fix some shit. But that was a fucking great ass fucking fight. Two people very well matched, as we've read, 1-1, but they're in good spirits, man. Look at these guys. They already know. They're looking at each other like, I'll see you. Yeah, we're going to do this again. Oh, John Anik is saying he's reading a tweet and saying, oh, somebody just said, maybe, I'm not a matchmaker, but you do that again, but maybe get a 5-round fight. Who fucking said that earlier? This guy. Run the tape. Go back there. Watch it again. I said that round 1 of this. Oh, look at that. Friend of the show. One Chad George getting in some love. Great effing ZM. Let's see what Pedro has to say in his post-fighter. Dana came over to congratulate him. I say, great fucking class. Good at that. Woo! Oh. Every time, dude. Just taking out that lead leg. So well done. All right, Bisping's putting him over as they wait for Pedro to probably get mic'd up here for a split second. You know, we have a rule that says we cheers those fights that get finishes We're going to cheers this one in a minute because that was a pretty fucking good fight. But let's hear what Pedro has to say. Pedro says he is very excited. And he's saying, yeah, it was 6 years ago they had that fight, and now it feels so much better to be doing it and get the win. And Felder's asking, what was the difference maker on this rematch? What is up, S3G Fault? Welcome to the show. And Pedro saying, you know, a big deal of it is moving to American Top Team 4 years ago. And I think he's just saying, you know, a lot of it's work ethic, dude. Ahmed, you said hi. I'll say hi back to you. What's up, bro? And he's giving it up to Gratitude. And let's talk a little bit about Munoz's fight. So the last two were losses to Frankie Edgar and Aljamain Sterling. Both of those were decisions, though. But, you know, he's got wins over Cody Garbrandt, Brian Caraway, Brett Johns, Rob Font, Justin Scoggins. Like, it's a pretty good record, dude. Yeah, I gotta say, dude, just looking at how he does what he does, it is quite good. But, of course, they talked about Pedro Munoz's testing positive for years ago. Totally forgot about that. And it says, I thought Pedro beat Frankie. Let's go find out. No, Frankie Edgar won that split decision. Are you saying that you thought he beat him in your opinion? Just need to get a clarification on that one. But either way, I understand. Still a fucking great fight. But yeah. Alright. We've started off pretty well here today, kids. I'm pretty pleased with how things are going. I mean, one of my friends said that they weren't expecting good things from tonight's fight night. But if that's the best fight we get, I'm good. You're saying your opinion. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you. I thought that was a good fight all the way around. But yes, we got 3 fights left. Montana De La Rosa, Mayra Bueno Silva. Those are fucking weird ass names. Like, that's a grab bag name that you get. What are the names of the fighters you got? Montana De La Rosa and Mayra Bueno Silva. Yeah, that sounds like 2 names. Be like, bro, did you just Kaiser Soze a name right now for us? A maid says, do you know when Mammoth gonna fight? No, I don't, unfortunately. But we can try and get you some of that guy. It says, seems like a connection. What up with Brazilians and juice, right? Ankaleev. That is coming up in 2 fights. So chill out for this one. Watch along with us. And then it's the one after that. All right, what questions do you guys got for me? We got a few minutes before they get to the next fight. I'm going to go ahead and give this a couple shares just to make sure we remind people we're on air. Give them some love. I also want to give some love to our friend, one Vince Cachero. Didn't come up with the win here tonight, but that guy is the best, and we will always be there for him. He is family to us, and I'm sure we'll be talking with him soon. I would love to go visit Colorado one of these days and go see how things are going for him with the new team. He recently moved. The wife got a gig out that way, so he's just, I love the shit out of Vince. And seeing him do big things out in Colorado is amazing to see. So let's go and give this a share over on the news feed. Here we go. Join us for some UFC Vegas 20. main card action. Do you? Oh, you live in Colorado. That's dope. That's where Kevin's at. That is very good. This quote says, very soon you will be big channel holder. Well, thank you. That's very nice. That's like the best comment fortune cookie I think we've gotten. No lie, though, if I had a Panda Express fortune cookie, that's the one I hope I would get. Very soon you will be big channel holder. And here in Los Angeles, I know a lot of people who would actually very much prefer that kind of fortune cookie. Come down and we'll get a hot Cheeto burrito. I'm not messing with a fucking hot Cheeto burrito. I'll grab a burrito with you because brown, but it is very funny the other day at work, with COVID protocols, you have to order food. And I ordered from our commissary a burrito because I wanted to try it out. And they gave me a taco. And I am so Mexican, I didn't even go complain to them. I just looked at it and said, yeah, I guess, I'm going to eat this too. It's really not a problem for me. So, Omaid says, I'm telling you the truth, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very nice of you to say. I do. You're in the right direction. Thank you. Appreciate that. We just have fun. And we do have a lot of people who tune in for different things on our channel. So we have people who tune in for the podcast. We have people who tune in for our memes. People who tune in for the bits that we do. So we do a little bit of everything, but the Fight Companions have been very fun to do, especially in a time where we really can't get together to watch fights. And I know that affects most people. Normally I would just tweet out stuff, and that's fun too. But there is kind of a fun nature in recording how some of the fights go, because sometimes it's ridiculous. Did they give me my money back? No, because I just ate it. And here's the hard part. In the age of COVID, you can't just go back there and be like, well, I opened this, so take it back. Because they're going to go, well, we're going to throw it out. And I'm like, don't throw out a taco. So like a good Mexican, I just kind of sucked it up and just ate the other vaguely Hispanic food. I think the hard part is in COVID, we're all trying not to make our Karen calls to go, I'd like to speak to a manager. Like, do you imagine how weird that's going to sound like if you are a brown person going, is there a manager here? Yes, Mr. Sparza, what's the problem? I ordered a burrito and you gave me a taco. Is that kind of the same thing? This one has beans inside of it. Oh, well, don't tacos just have beans outside of it? Fair point. But with the taco, it's not the same. Actually, the funny part is I actually did order the tacos the next day from that place. When I ordered the taco the next day, though, they made it so that the taco wasn't pre-made. You have to actually put them together. So they just gave you a tortilla, the meat on one side, and the rice on the other side. And I said, what the what is this? We getting like fajitas at this point? Like, what the shit? I have to make my own taco? I believe in COVID protocols. Too far. Too far for me. Anyway, what's up, Alma? What's up, Frankie? But when things go back to normal, I'm sure I'm going to visit Kevin, Drain Daddy, get in touch with us. I'm sure we'll go around. And if you're around an area where we would go train at, come train with us. Probably take a while before that happens, but when it does, you may or may not know about it. Because honestly, it'd be nice to go visit Kevin. That was one of the funner things that we used to do all the time. It says, last time you asked me who's in picture with me. That's Amir Khan, 2-time boxer champion. See, I remembered that because the first time I saw it, it's hard unless I like zoom it up. So anytime I zoom it in, I don't want to seem like a mega stalker. So like, yeah, I see that, bro. That's pretty dope. That's really cool that he was taking a photo like that. He's the shit though. He's really good. So yeah. Anyway, what other questions? Hit me. We got a little bit of time. And I'm sure there's more to talk about because You know, I've seen how much you guys have viewed some of those videos that went up yesterday. I know. I keep an eye on things. My favorite was, so one of the persons who put up the slap, they're the only people I know that got flagged by Flo. But here's the thing. A civilian, a regular person, put up the footage. And Flo's not going to go after them. But if you're any one of us who has a channel that's kind of a media channel, they'll flag you. And we've done, in the 8 years or so that we've done this, we've really never been flagged. And some people have lost their channels because all they do is put up pirated content, or they put up highlights from something, and then they're always like, I can't believe I got Thanos. Like, we've been pretty lucky in that hasn't happened to us. I will say, though, we did a bit this week where I did a Nate Diaz impression and John Anik, and it was talking about that bathroom brawl. And, you know, I hate to say I'm a victim, but I got Gina Carano'd. TikTok and YouTube, for the first time, said that we had offensive content. And not because of my words, but because the fight itself was violent. And my first thought was, I didn't know they do that to us. Like, we've never gotten that. Also, the clip exists without us. So then I started thinking, like, did I say some shit? I mean, obviously, if I'm impersonating Nate Diaz, it's entirely possible they might be like, ugh, we don't want that on here. But y'all, we have like 6 videos on TikTok, and to see like our 6th one got flagged like that, hilarious. Now we put up a video of me getting slapped as a bit that we did for the WWE BJJ week, and completely flagged, not flagged on that one. So I'm like, okay, so apparently the rule on TikTok is you can't watch someone get beat up. But if you're the person that gets beat up, maybe they don't flag you, because that video was done super well. Apparently on TikTok, that thing has over, 11,000 views. So what the shit? Listen, we're starting trial and error, and we still don't even understand that. But I digress. I have a question for you, since you know about MMA. What do you think about Khabib's retirement? I don't care. Fight or don't. That's really it. Khabib's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. But the hard part about that is it'll be category dependent. Isn't it too early? Of course it's too early. But, you know, you get caught up on having a good record rather than being a fighter that lives forever in infamy because they keep fighting. I mean, maybe he just wants to avoid brain damage. I don't know what his deal is, dude. Obviously, unfortunateness that's happened with his family. You don't want to make him fight forever. But Khabib also has said famously, I don't want to fight because my mom won't let me fight. Which is some bullshit. I hate that so much. What's up, right? 1848. Justin Mann. Justin, what do we talk about, dude? Literally putting up video of you doing way too much lifting again. Not necessary. What's up, Jits Mom? What is up? I see Grayson Russell, and I see 100% true. Thank you. I appreciate you for agreeing with me. Meanwhile, on our televisions, we're about a minute into De La Rosa versus Bueno Silva. Or, in Espanol, the good Silva. And of the Rose, of course. Babe, I wasn't going to do that one, but okay, sure. I mean, producer wife Kelly coming in with her own comments. She literally just got back in and is already on fire. Do you guys have any particular way that you think this fight's going to go? Do you have a person you're rooting for? There wasn't any major press on our side coming in on this side for this fight, but I'll take your excitement if you're excited. Meanwhile, hit me with your questions, comments, concerns, notes about this fight. In the black trunks, you do see De La Rosa. In the white, you see Bueno Silva. And right now, De La Rosa pushing up Bueno Silva, Buenoli, up against the cage. Both of them exchanging with a few strikes within the section there. And I see Rooting for De La Rosa with zero enthusiasm. Oh no. Jits Mom asks, how do I get a shirt? We have them on sale. I can put the link up a little bit later. I'll DM that to you. Oh no. There's a very stern talking to in terms of the elbowing, it appears. Okay, she knows. Jolito. No, there's no timeouts for boob shots, babe. Jolito says, enjoy the scraps, fellas. Gotta charge my phone. See you next weekend. Jolito, you need to plan ahead, bro. Can't just be taken off just because you need to charge your phone. Charge your phone ahead of time. You know we do this every week. Or get a phone charger. Just leave it on. You don't have to watch. Just leave it on. It's like a Nielsen rating. Counts even when you fall asleep. That's why NCIS does huge ratings. Or Criminal Minds. I'm just kidding. What's up, Urban Pharaoh? How you doing, man? How have you been? Hopefully you're doing well, sir. Meanwhile, 152 left in round number 1. And I know there is faint enthusiasm for De La Rosa, at least in our chat section here. But she's not doing bad. She's connected a few times. Good shots all the way through. Nice knee by Bueno Silva. And you're going to see De La Rosa go back to work on that single leg, seeing if maybe she can get a takedown. She isn't quite able to put the leg in between hers, which would help her get that takedown a little bit better there. But nothing doing once again. What's up, Blanca? Hopefully you were having a great day. You missed all the Gordon Ryan and Andre Galvao chat, though. We've done it. But don't worry, if you missed the 5 p.m. showing, we'll definitely have the 6:30 and the 7:30 and the 8:30 I'm done. 8 p.m. should be when the telecast is done, because somebody needs to be in time for SNL. So, just saying. I hope they get Blackwitz. I hope Blackwitz gets the W. That'd be nice. I don't know how I feel about next week yet. I'm dealing with that next week. Next week, there's 3 title fights, though. It's going to be a fucking interesting pay-per-view. And I do believe friend of the show, Drew Dober's fighting on that one. So it is going to be a stat. Very excited for that. Bueno V. Silva, though, 16-8. And State Champ 103 is saying, loving this offense cage work. I can get into that. Last 10 seconds here. Nothing too crazy going on just yet in this fight, so we'll return back to that. All right, throw your questions at me while we've got a minute in between the rounds. I will take them. I'm happy to take them. Omaid says, good fights coming. Yeah, I know. This isn't a bad fight. It's just, it's average. Honestly, it's about what I expected from tonight's card. I'll say that. And the Pedro Munoz fight that we just saw right now, that was a gift. I'll take it. Every once in a while, Kevin will send me a text being like, I don't know how you do this. And I go, I don't either, dude. I just do it. I think after the first 30 minutes, you're just kind of like, all right, you get into a zone, you just go, you do the work. But every so often, there's just, this one isn't one of those fights, but every so often you get a fight that you go, there's no way to make this one interesting. So that's why we rely on you sometimes to come up with good questions, because, it can't all be winners. Yeah. All right, round number 2. Here we go. Man, that is going to be a very fun one to see, though. Rosenstruck coming up a little bit later. Right now, we are in about the midsection of the card. Montana De La Rosa versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Ooh, heavy shots are coming in right now, though. Ooh. Very good start to the round, especially for Bueno Silva, who's coming in way more aggressive thus far in. Good, brother. And you? I'm doing all right, man. You've been holding up? You getting any training in? Doing anything nice? Taking care of yourself? Family good? Hope all is well. No, it's pretty good, dude. What's up, Joey? Good to see you, man. Getting all the WWE BJJ regulars coming in to say hello. You're seeing Buena Silva up on top, cupping the back of De La Rosa's head. Is going to try and pass. This is going to be an awkward way to pass with that one leg being shielded ever so slightly. Oh, well, brother, training is in the shadows. Yeah, of course it is, dude. Everything's gone underground. I mean, there is no training. What are you talking about? It doesn't happen right now. What's going on? Are we talking about the events of last night? Yeah, we've done it a couple times, but I'll take any question you got about it. Fresh cut, I see you. Who we got for the main? Dude, I've been thinking Cyril. I can't promise you that's what I'm going to stick to. I'm giving myself one more fight, and then I got to give you guys a prediction. But I would say that. You know, this fresh cut was actually an accident. They fucked up, and I had to start combing it the way I used to. And thank God it turned out okay, because I was about to wear hats. What's up, Jacare916? Is the USSGL going to host the match between Gordon and Andre? Yo, Joey, you want to hear something funny? Kevin Crane, who's been interesting the past few months, he showed up on here. And he goes, yo, Raph, tell the people what they need to hear. And I go, okay, what do you need to tell them? And he's like, what do they need to hear, Kevin Crane? And he goes, tell him how I beat Kevin. And I was like, which Kevin? I don't know what he's talking about. And I think he's referring to the fact that him and what's-his-face, Kyle Bame, had a thing at the USSGL. And he goes, yeah, tell the people that I beat him in 27 seconds. You saw that. You were there. And I had no clue what the fuck he was talking about. And I just go, okay. And he just goes, do a podcast with me. I was like, not interested, dude. Nah, you're kind of batshit right now, dude. And he just goes, nobody's watching this. I was like, dude, you have one viewer on your things. Don't come to my shit and tell me nobody's watching. I was like, plus, you don't even have a format or a thing. And he says, they did go against each other. There's drama around that too. I know, man. So we're just going to act like the Gordon backhand isn't the new hand slap before a flow. I mean, I'll tell you this much. They're stealing from our shtick, man. That was my first thought when I saw it. Those cameras were conveniently recording for like a portion of it. And then conveniently, like, they were right here going like, oh, we're right on the action. And then as soon as they got too close to the action, they all of a sudden, you see the one slap, and then the second slap, they go, ooh, better go away. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing by going away? Just show the second slap. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you're going to get more trouble? Doesn't make any sense. And if this is a giant work, at least it's one that's done the job of getting everybody talking. I just don't see how if you're Andre Galvo, if this is a work, that you agree to it, because it just doesn't do much for you. If it is put together stupidly, just that it happened, and it's really silly. Like, it's really silly to the point where there's no downside for Gordon, dude. That was... Dude. I will tell you, though, it is hilarious to look at. Just from a, like, actual jiu-jitsu fan standpoint. From this perspective, which is, in other sports, Tom Brady doesn't go to the opposing team and go, nice throw, you fucks. Like, that just doesn't happen. They work themselves into a shoot. That is a excellent way to put it. The slap heard around the mats. Well, this was off the mats, which I think was the thing that probably disoriented Andre Galvo the most, which was, how dare you hit me when there's no mats? There is only carpet. Why would you hit me when there's only carpet? It's not in the rules. We don't do that. We're civilized. I don't know, man. I mean, it is still funny to look at. And I think the kid who put it up, the one who I saw put it up was the Allen wrench. And bless his soul for, I don't know how he had it, if he filmed it, if somebody else gave it to him or whatever, but Hilarious. Let's make it happen. They can compete at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, and you can do play-by-play. Yeah, absolutely. I would play-by-play the shit out of it. And it said, to be fair, Andre had a delayed reaction when back like an hour later after the rematch. Yeah, that part doesn't make any sense. So Gordon and Galvo both look dumb. There's no getting around that. Gordon just looks better because he got to slap him. The play-by-play would be beautiful. So that's what we were kind of talking about, which is I wouldn't be opposed to doing a play-by-play of it. I actually thought about doing one for that clip because there's a certain impression that I do would probably be timely with it. I just don't want to get it fucking taken down. Flo's too bitchy about that shot. And I don't even know that Flo owns that clip. I don't know who owns that clip. I got to find that out. Maybe I'll hit that kid up and see if it's his. But we did see one person get flagged that messaged me and goes, you know, Flo, they reported me. And I go, what? What's up, Jiva? All right. 4:24 left to go in this fight. Somebody's winning. You guys have asked too many questions about Gordon and Andre, and I got too emotionally involved. Last round, I did see a little bit better of a beginning from Juan Bueno Silva, but De La Rosa looked a little bit stronger in terms of a little bit later in the round. What is up, Victor Nos? But yeah, I mean, if you're Galvo, you got to take the match now, right? There's no other scenario. Like, you have to take the match. You priced yourself way too out of it by asking for $1 million. Bro, all of jiu-jitsu can't afford $1 million. If we pulled all of our collective acai money, we couldn't get $1 million. Period. We have enough time getting people to pay for one streaming service. You think they're really going to pay for a Fight TV version of that fight? No. I even had people saying, I would pay $70 for this. Look at this choke, by the way, over on the screen. Nothing doing there, but it looked fun. Kimura Trap trying to get there. Nothing doing. Pushing the head down, seeing if she can separate, but she is pushed up against the cage. And there is a nice trip there by De La Rosa. Both of them are going to get back up to their feet. Bueno Silva coming in with a couple kicks. They reverse position, and now you see De La Rosa back to bullying her up against the cage. I don't know. To their credit, they definitely got all of us talking. And that's music to Gordon's ears. So we'll see. But we talked about a little bit earlier how the most hilarious byproduct of the whole situation is how every single person in the comment section let you know what they would have done in that situation. Like, every person who decided to come in, they would say something about him going like, you know what? If Gordon hit me, I would have decked him right then and there, because that's what I would have done. It's like, I don't believe you. I think you probably would have folded worse than Galvo looked in that situation, if we're being honest. I saw your note, Joey. Thank you very much for that. The whole thing's absurd. Yeah, we're getting a couple notes of people saying this is an okay fight. It's okay at best. I can't really love it. Pretty sure I would have woke up on some math. That's what I'm saying, dude. Is Gordon from Dirty Jurors? Yes. If anything, I felt like that was the most, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way too, but those are the most reality TV-like moments. Like, it felt like our version of a Real Housewife show. So when he goes up and approaches them after the fact, it's akin to somebody on one of the housewife shows that goes, you know, I got a real problem with you, and I need to talk to you. And then they all do their talking heads. Like, that was the only thing that was missing. Oh, wait. Gordon was in the middle of doing a talking head for Flow Grappling at the time. It's just super convenient. But they're also really stupid. So it is entirely possible they're not smart enough to really book out something like that. The one thing that we haven't mentioned yet was the fact that Mo, the person behind the money for all of this, conveniently decided to do a late night live video talking about his interpretation of it. I tuned in for about a good 5 minutes, and Mo's interpretation was, yeah, Galvo started it, and he went up and he basically pushed Gordon, and, you know, it's crazy, it's wild. We'll see what happens. And then he stayed on the air for 2 hours. I don't know how much insight you could have to an event that had like 16 seconds. And granted, we've talked about it for a while. But all I wanted to hear from Mo was, are you going to make the fight? Yes or no? Either way, for him to just then go on for 2 hours to talk about it was like, you got the feeling very quickly, I don't think there's any more insight into any of this. I had a real problem with how you slapped me. I can't taste my acai bowl. Yeah, I think the strangest part of that is that those were two people who've had a lot of acai in their life. So it's kind of like the last few minutes of Superman, Man of Steel, where Superman and Zod are fighting each other. And really, they're creating destruction, but to everybody else, it doesn't really look like anything more than aliens fighting each other because they're just so strong and they're just going to beat the shit out of each other because they're equally on steroids. That's kind of what this felt like. They're just on so much acai that, like, Andre getting staggered was, how dare you have that much acai? I'm going to have more acai and love Jesus more. That's part of it. Well, Vince put up something. Vince Cachero did put up a note that just said, yo, didn't get it done, but appreciate all the love and support. How dare you, Jesse? I mean, just the look on his face, it's hard to tell. That's the other thing I wanted them to fix. I want somebody to go back and fix the contrast, because I did a version of it on my phone, and I kicked up the contrast, and you see a little bit more of how it looks. And yeah, that first slap that Galvo took, he looked a little shook. To be fair, I would have too. But again, everybody in the comment section or creating videos saying what they would have done is the ultimate tough guy armchair quarterback. Majority draw! Sweet. Oh. Hold on. I don't know why Bueno Silva grabbed De La Rosa's arm and dragged her over. It almost looked like she was taking them to the judges or Dana. And everything's lost to me after that. But that means they will not be talking to either of them. Unless they're going to do a joint interview, which they will not be. So we'll wait. What's up, Horrible 915? Hope you're having a good day. It's been mostly an okay day of fights thus far, and we got 2 left. Next one is the co-main. Hope you are excited for that. Nikita Krylov and versus one Magomed Ankalaev. So that's what we got coming up next. In the meantime, we're having our fun talking about Andre Galvo and, Gordon Ryan basically becoming the Real Housewives of Jiu-Jitsu. I do want to take a moment and see, this is how you can tell things are really fucking crazy. I have not seen one post or story update from Galvo. I have, however, true to form, seen quite a bit from one Gordon Loves Jiu-Jitsu. So, let's see what it is. It says, can't wait for Jake Paul to slap Andre next. It is kind of weird because it says Montana's face. I know. What is up on Gran Sario? The weird part about Gordon Ryan is that he is the embodiment of a Paul brother in vibe and in trollness, but he actually does know how to jiu-jitsu well. So, Bravo's face. I know. So, I like the meme that somebody put up that said, Eddie Bravo looking validated that slapping and jiu-jitsu would be such a success. It was very funny. I mean, the nice part about it is it really did make the meme. I think Andy Night Night Varela put up a meme that day as a 10th Planet guy that said 10th Planet people watching Atos and Henzo Gracie guys get into fights. And it's just him with a bowl while they're scrapping over on the sides. It really was prophetic, one might say. I would say, though, our WWE BJJ skit from 2 years ago was actually way more of a prediction, to the point where it literally was what we did. But we did it funny. And I think we told a better story, because Milton wanting to eat gummy bears was a much better story. Had actual depths. Just saying. Ryan Kelly PT, thank you for joining the line. Thank you, dude. I mean, listen, dude. When I saw it, all I could think of was, where have I seen this before? Oh my god, I did it. Like, the fact that you leave it with such parody and then you see the parody become reality, you go, yeah, that's pretty funny. So, we lucked out on that one. We had a pretty good ability to do it. But you know what's great about it? We put that clip up on YouTube, and a couple years ago, somebody put, I think it's my favorite comment on that video, was, this had to be staged, right? Lo and behold, we put the clip on TikTok, and you do get a couple people in the comment section saying the following. Number one, famous words of every buffoon. Do you know who you're talking to right now? That's funny. It says, should have kicked his ass the second he got in his face before he knocked the hat off. Again, funny. And it says, all I can see is steroids. So this person is insinuating, because it's Milton, not me, that Milton is on steroids in our video. Which, amazing. 2 last comments. Imagine fighting over gummy bears. I'll say this. Really try and eat gummy bears in front of fighters as they cut weight. And the last word was staged. Literally how I felt when I seen it. Thought you guys had remade it. Then I had to remember it was an old video. Raph was here. I'm just saying, man. We're just ahead of the curve. That's all. But... And it's funny because here I was pitching to somebody for this year's WWE BJJ week. I was going to pull a Galvo and say that somebody should give me $1 million for a match. And then they are just doing our material. And I go, oh my God, we become the real storyline. They become the parody. We're the real thing. But, I'll take it. It means there may be some more foolishness coming, but yes. In our ever-growing quest to understand whatever the fuck TikTok is, we are getting people who love that clip. So, it is fun to see. All right, kids, who do you guys have for the co-main? 4D chess. Yep, that's exactly how it feels cutting them. Who do you guys got in the co-main? Do you got Nikita or Magomed? Should be interesting. I know earlier Omaid was asking about it. Omaid, the time is now. Where are you, fam? Are you watching this still? Hit us. The empty arena. Still very interesting to see. The only thing that weirds me out is when they clip between the highlight clips of people who fought before an audience and then the like empty arena ones. Because they show half an empty arena and all you remember was, oh, that wasn't COVID. That was just prelims that people didn't attend. Want Mago, but I'm thinking Nikita gonna take it. Okay. I can see that. Well, here's some good news. The real winner of this fight is going to be the translator. Because they got their work cut out for them right now. Let's just take a look at the last few fights for both of these gents. Nikita coming in next has a win over Johnny Walker. I totally forgot about that one. A loss against Glover Teixeira, which, by the way, also remember that. And a win over OSP. Meanwhile, Magomed is coming in here. Magomed's only loss is a submission, and that happened all the way back in 2018, March of 2018, so 3 years ago. The hard part is that the only losses on Nikita's record in recent memory are against really top-tier talent. Like, his losses are against Glover Teixeira, Jan, and one OSP. Like, those are solid fighters to lose against. But the wins aren't any facade either. I mean, look at it. Ed Herman, Cody Donovan, Johnny Walker. I see a note here that says, hello from Twitch. And it is from 35AY Dkumi K05. You look like a real person. Word. If you're a real person, welcome. We're glad to have you. If you're a bot, sure. We'll have you as well. How about the rest of you guys chime in? Joseph, who do you got? Shango, who do you got? Lou, who do you got? Talk to me all around. Oh, you're from Dagestan. Oh, okay, that's what's up. What brings you here from Dagestan? How'd you find us? Did you just type in UFC or something? Do you know us? Do you watch us regularly? I just always assume people in the United States are our main demo. But every once in a while, when I do look at our demographic breakdowns, I'll go, who's watching us in Brazil? And then I remember, oh, right, BJJ. Right. But it is always surprising. I see a Krylov. I see a Ankaleev. Okay, we're getting a nice cross-section coming in. I appreciate you guys chiming in, telling us who you feel is going to win. We got a long ways to go. We got 2 fights. One of them is going to be the main event, but we are at co-main status right to the now. So just to fill you guys in, we also have another episode of Over Under Kevin coming up. We're going to be previewing the Monster card that's happening. Very excited for that one happening next Saturday. So keep a lookout for that. Join us. Oh, I see a Canelo here. Oh, wait, I keep thinking, yeah, it's almost time for the Askren Paul fight too, right? If that happens. That's like in 2 weeks, right? Oh, Jesus. Join us for some UFC Vegas 20 coverage. All right. Just shared that over on the Verbal Tap page as well. We also are going to preview, I think we're going to, somebody messaged me and they go, you should get Gordon on the podcast. And I was like, to talk about what? What are we possibly going to chat about? At this point, we saw what we saw. It's not really more to say other than his interpretation that he's already told Flow Grappling. So we'll see. A good reminder, you guys watching over on the main broadcast. So if you are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. So it's pretty simple. We toast those fighters who get finishes within regulation, but we also toast you as well for giving us some love on the show because we appreciate it. Helps to get the show seen from outside of our nice, normal folks that chime in and come in with us week after week. What is up, Jeffrey Weber? We're watching us some UFC Vegas 20. For the 20th time they have done the Performance Center for a non-pay-per-view event. So, what do you guys got for us? We have a nice split section all the way through. We're about to get to the action in just a moment. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you don't mind, we also would appreciate it if you give us some love at Grappling Hour on all of the major platforms. So we're talking YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, which I think is only a thing for a month. But we'll take you guys. I don't really care where you show up. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a nice little 5-star review over on Verbal Tap's page on Apple Podcasts and on Grappling Hour's page on Apple Podcasts, it means the world to us. It's super nice and it's super cool. So all that love is always appreciated. We will now head on over to a little bit of the fight coverage. We've gotten you guys chiming in on who you think is going to win. And if you are wrong, we will mock you. We will ignore it. We might mock you. It depends on how the fight goes, honestly. Sometimes I say I'm not going to make fun of you guys, and then I have to, because the fight's boring. But I think we're going to get a good fight here. Just a hunch. Un Gran Surio. It's always fun to see everybody who comes in with different names. Where'd you get the name from, sir? Oof. I don't know. Nikita looking super focused. I'm trying to see what my last minute pick. It says, when are we going to get a RAF at OnlyFans? I don't really know. That's a good question. I don't think there's anything I OnlyFans fan.
Never.
Or my wife says never. Nah, bro. I think we're good. It's something like a big dinosaur. Yeah, okay. That checks out. You know who did start OnlyFans that is hilarious? Eric Andre started one. And Eric Andre basically put up on his Instagram, he's like, because you can see some of my ass vagina or something on Instagram, and they immediately flagged him. And he goes, they're censoring me. No. Because Eric Andre is very funny. I don't even think I don't pull off that humor. But thank you for asking. Tell her it's cool, Anthony asks. All bros, only fam. No, she's not worried. She just thinks it's stupid. Because she doesn't want to open the door. You know what she'd rather? That you guys just fucking give us money for this show. One of the rare times a genuine look of, what the fuck, from producer wife Kelly. You're fine.
You're not showing your boobs on the screen yet.
I'm not showing my tits on screen. That's pretty assured. Woo! Right now, Krylov on a good takedown already. Ankaleev struggling a little bit here. I think we shared on the podcast. Krylov is very patient in the approach here. Watch the grip that he has on that back leg as well. It's controlling this with a good single leg pinch between the legs. He's actually kind of pulling him back while also pushing. The pulling back is helping him to maintain that single leg composure while also pushing him into the cage with his head. It's a good 2-on-1 dynamic here, but you see Krylov loses him on the ground and Ankaleev gets back up. He's against the cage, and Krylov might go to a single leg here, but he's got that weird foreign strength where he might just be able to pull off one of those solid wrestling transitions if he just sticks on it. But that pressure is really solid. He's kept him there for about a minute plus at this point. He's almost lifting him up onto the cage without any support on the ground. But props to Ankaleev for staying upright this entire time. They're going to separate now midsection. And you do see you've got Krylov in the black trunks, Ankaleev in the white. Good news on this. I don't think we have any full confirmation on this news. But last it seems that the Reebok deal is going to be done potentially sometime in April. And I think that's when we're expecting to see the Venom gear now for the fighters. I'm interested to see what that's going to look like because we're so programmed to knowing what the Reebok gear has looked like. And unfortunately, the Reebok gear has given the fighters zero money. Like, practically zero money. So, there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and take off this note that said, from Dagestan. Please tell me you saw Vanessa Aguilar's armbar. I did. That was pretty money. I read that it takes effect April 1st. Well, that would be April Fool's Day. So that's why we say unconfirmed. Because the night before April Fool's, we definitely go to sleep. And I turn my phone off until I've had coffee. Because I don't believe shit until then. And we get those people who start April Fool's jokes on the West Coast at 9 p.m. Those are the worst people. Because when they start them, they think, well, it's, midnight on the East Coast. And I go, nobody believes you. Stop it. It's bullshit. There's actually one jiu-jitsu writer who always hits me up and goes, Raph, did you see my April Fool's joke this year? How come you didn't share it? No. Because it wasn't funny. Oh, but I got this one fighter to retweet it. Good for you. You're good. I definitely need coffee. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if I'm up super early for work. I am not pleasant in the mornings. So. I try to, like most people with good steroids, with my coffee, I try to cycle it in and out. And there's like a day this week I didn't have coffee. And one of my coworkers goes, why would you do that? That's terrible. Like, go get coffee. Go. And I was like, all right, that's a fair point. They do have to work with me. We're going to end this very first round looking very solid. It says, BJJ April Fool's jokes are always dumb. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It would be nice if they are funny. They are not. But we'll let the people have their fun, do their thing. What is up, Stuart SLS? Thank you for joining the show. Hope you have a good one. LA2LB, are you going to watch Canelo? Yes, but not here. That seems fair. We try to really brand our thing, like even as a grappling specific show, doing the MMA, it took me a little while to be okay with that. But, I gotta take some off, kids. I can't cover every single thing. Raph starts first cardio cycle with blonde and ends with dark roast. Hell yeah. That is sometimes the way it goes. I try to make sure that I don't become too reliant on it. Because when I'm in between shows and I'm not working, I try not to rely on coffee that much. So it is like you're like cycling off. It's like when you see people who get off drugs and they like get chained to a bed. I'm like, I'm going off coffee this week. Chain me to the bed. Ooh, look at the power now. Uncle Leaf really wants to make up for getting pushed up against the cage for a good part of 3 minutes of that last round. Krylov 10-9, but I think a lot of people are saying he might have landed more volume, but still look out for Uncle Leaf, which, accurate. My daughter isn't allowed to even call me dad till I smell some coffee. That's a military-esque precision you've got there. That is pretty funny, though. You know what, though? I don't even understand that as a parent. We have a dog, and that is a different situation. And there are moments where at 3 a.m., I get up because she's moving around, and I'll have to make sure she's not acting up. But that's not the same thing as having a kid, so I can see that. Good for you. 15 years in the Salvation Army, playa. I see that. Ooh. Both the gens connected right there, though. You're seeing a little bit more of an aggressive streak out of Ankaleev. Good reads on some of the strikes there by Krylov, though. All right, Krylov tries to shoot in. That was a pretty... I wouldn't call it a sloppy shot, but that was definitely not commitment on that. Ankaleev comes in with a kick. Krylov doesn't eat the majority of it, but he gets a nice straight right hand to the face for his efforts. Now you're seeing Krylov try to get a little bit more crafty with his approach. I think he's understanding he's taking some hits that he doesn't want to get in when he's just right in front of Krylov. I'm sorry, Ankaleev. Yeah, sorry, LA2LB. I will be watching it just off air. And still trying to keep up with highlights and whatnot. It's always weird when we have to do these, like the calendars, when I look to see what events are going to come up. And I look down and I go, oh shit, was Canelo the same night? Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. I'll remember. 2 minutes 19, so we are at the halfway point of this fight. Ankaleev looking so much stronger in this second round. Ooh. Wow. It wasn't even just a swing and a miss by one Krylov. There was a beautifully red duck under by Ankaleev, who gets a takedown here. Now you see Krylov trying to get butterfly hooks to start lifting them up. He has an overhook on one of the arms. But Ankaleev starting to posture backwards. That's a good grip over on the arm. He does lose it. Gets him over to the side for a split second. Nothing doing there. What is up, Mystery? Or a Mystery? Mayo? Mayostery? I don't know. I'm going to call you Mystery because I feel like that's better. You know, if Krylov could pull off that nice submission there for a split second, he looked like he was trying to do some omoplata work, but does not get it. Now, from underneath, double overhooks, loses one, has one over, one under. This is definitely a sweeping position. That's going to be tough to get. I'm getting the impression that Ankaleev is a little more difficult to sweep than advertised. Now you're seeing Krylov. He's trying to re-guard all the way fully here. What do you think about the slap issue yesterday? Man, you guys love talking about that one. Bad for the sport, but also good for the sport. I think I told somebody in a tweet yesterday. I said, you know, it's not a dolly being thrown at a bus, but we'll take it. It's like right in that echelon of, that's stupid. Why the fuck is somebody doing that? The slap is all you're going to be talking about for the next week. I know. And we're trying to differentiate it because there's a certain amount of talking about it I do on this show. And then on Verbal Tap, we will probably address it to some facet. But we always try to make it different on how we address it. Though I will say you guys are usually the first where you'll get the first wave of the jokes that we'll try for it. And then Verbal Tap, Kevin has a whole different interpretation, so that'll be fun. What do you think happens when we die? Well, okay, first you're getting a little morbid. Second, a lot of nothing for us. But as WandaVision teaches us, grief is complicated. You know, I'm just going to say WandaVision's my answer. I think that's all the stages of grief, right? Like literally all of them in all of the episodes. Great. Watch it or don't. Don't care. I see E-Dub Sig and Steel. It's kind of not that different. Gala's a bus. Man, that's came thrown like a dolly. That's fair. Pretty sure the sweat fell into John's eye like the glass. Oh, how do you feel about WandaVision? I fucking love WandaVision, man. WandaVision's the shit. WandaVision is appointment viewing in this household. We will make time for WandaVision. And here's the other thing. I know a lot of people were saying at the very beginning, they're like, oh, WandaVision's starting off slow. And I was like, have you met Marvel? There's a reason they're doing their shit. Give them time. Been very pleased, especially the last few episodes. And ooh, look at Ankaleev. He is staggering Krylov now. There could be a very big reversal of fortune happening. Because I would assume we could be... Ugh, he chucks him off on a single leg. Wish I could. Holy shit. Tony see me in the wrestling room. I don't get to do that to people. Would love to. Loving it myself. Me and my girl are stuck. Do you think it's going to have a long shelf life, though? Yeah. The writing is good. Performances, really good. Execution feels solid. I will say this, though. I can revisit that question a little bit later. My wife came up with a really good idea, which is we're going to rewatch all, or as much as we can, before Friday's finale. And I think I might have an even better answer for you, but just the way I'm watching it, like as a huge TV fan, the homages they've paid to those shows are really well done, and that doesn't always happen. And at first you're kind of thinking, like, why do they do those homages? But they explain that well, too. So, yeah, I think it's going to live on as something that we point back to. And not only is it going to be so good that we're going to be like, man, that's really well done, but, like, Falcon and the fucking Winter Soldier, it's going to look like NCIS compared to this shit. Have you seen The Sound of Metal? No, but it's on my to-do list. Because that dude's performance is probably going to get nominated for an Oscar, and I usually make my way through all of them. What's up, Isaiah? How you doing, man? How is the training going for you, sir? I see you always getting after it. Even though you never come to train. Yo, where's Lucy? Lucy is busy right now, Shango. Lucy is getting her fitness on. The wife is throwing a ball. So if you hear any zoomies in the background, that's what's happening there. So what happens is, if you occasionally hear some snoring on the show, and yeah, it's pretty light, that is the puppy. What's up, Strength Mobility? Look at this. We have all the friends showing up right now. When the puppy is sleeping, it's when I'm doing the show. And as you guys know, I'm on here for a bit. But if we get the opportunity to kind of play with her a little bit, get her a little bit more active, because I'll tell you this, sometimes when I sign off on this show, she lets me know, okay, now it's time to play with me. And not that this is the most strenuous work you'll ever do, but you are tired after doing a telethon. And depending on how much of this I'm drinking, so that just depends. But yes, Lucy is right now playing with producer wife Kelly. She's going around chasing. She's actually being a mad woman right now. But yes, appreciate that. It says Krylov keeps eating that check hook. Absolutely. What are you drinking? Well, tonight the beer of the show is one Maiden West IPA. It is brewed from the Little Beast Brewing Company. It is Oregon crafted. It's a Maiden West, and it's actually pretty delicious. This beer is full of Citra, Simcoe, and Senator hops, delivering big notes of citrus, tropical fruit, and pine. Definitely taste the pine. Will she be making an appearance at Izzy versus Jan? You know, that's the thing I should be charging you guys for. I should do the show for free and then charge you to see the dog. I think that's the thing we have to do going forward. Noted. What's up, Sven? How are you doing, man? Oh, in case you didn't know, next week on the show, Sven will be a contributor. He'll actually be on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch show. Lucy OnlyFans. I don't want to call it that because that gets a little weird. And I don't know that I really want that audience, even if they're going to pay for it. But, okay. I hear you're money making, and I say, good first thought, but can we refine that one? Anyway, you were interrupting me, as I was saying. Sven is joining next week on our main broadcast. So we won't probably do this one on Instagram. I want you guys to go tune in and watch us do our thing over on the main Grappling Hour broadcast. And you can find that Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on Periscope. 2LB asks, and I'll let some of the people in the comment section, back to the drawing board, you said. Fair enough. It's okay. It's a good first. There's no bad first ideas in the brainstorming session. I will say, though, that might have been a bad idea. If there were bad ideas, that would be one. But, anyway, here's the thing. You said, I won. I mean, Anka won. Well, yeah, I mean, he won, so I guess by proxy you did pick him. But LA2LB asks, and I'll leave this to you guys, do you do any impressions? You guys, regulars, do I do any impressions, and who do I do them of? If I'm being honest, I think LA2LB actually knows that I do impressions, but he is being facetious and asking. So, I'll ask you guys, who are the impressions that I do, and maybe I'll do one. You know what we forgot to do? We forgot to fucking cheers Pedro. Fuck yeah. That fight was okay, and Uncle Leaf coming back after a rough first round, but looked very solid. What's up, Fifth Kubi? Isaiah just said Nate Diaz impression. I do that one. All right, maybe I'll give you guys a choice. Do you want to see me do Nate Diaz on here? Or do you want Nate Diaz to do a breakdown of the Gordon and Galvo slap? Because it comes with a condition. You got to share that shit. Because I'm not just making it for nothing. We've been doing good numbers. But as you know, I have been silenced. Like Gina Carano. TikTok and YouTube are silencing our voice. I've only had one thing get ever taken down in 8 years of doing this. I'm just saying. Make sure we get it. Can we get Nate Diaz to do a Raph impression here? Nice. I like the workaround on that. You're not changing the dynamic. I put the conditions out there. Isaiah seems to like the second option and will share. So we are getting a note here. Translator time. What's up, Temple No Love? Yo, whoever is in the background playing Robot Rock, not the time. Daft Punk just broke up, and I am not in the mood for that shit. We're all feeling the effects of Daft Punk breaking up after 27 years. Dicks. Maybe 28. Oof, poor Felder's off his game because he's like, dude, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your translator. Was it hard to win the fight is essentially the question he is asking. Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, winning fight was hard. But, you know, I did. So, he said I wasn't planning to wrestle with him, but I had to. Yo, he straight up has the beard that Mose wore on The Office. So credit to him, dude. All right, Angelev gets the win. Answered the question on impressions. We're just knocking it out here. We're killing it. Feel free to ask more questions as we have a few minutes before the final fight of the night, the main event. We'll get to asking you who you guys have. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share over on our Facebook, we give you a toast on air. I did promise that Pedro was going to get a toast, and here's why. This toast goes on out to Pedro Munoz and Jimmy Rivera. We normally reserve toasts for those who get finishes within regulation time, but that fight was so fun. Fuck it. You guys deserve a toast. Let's see a third version of that. And you know what? Let's make it 5 rounds. Like we said, not John Anik or the Tweeties reading, during the fight. Cheers to you both. Thank you very much for a great fight. LA2LB asks, where were you born? You sound like you're trying to figure out my password. Born here in Southern California. Many, many moons ago. Was getting slapped in Galvo's script. That would be great if they came to an agreement. It's like, we're going to shove each other. And then we're going to let the jiu-jitsu nerds share that clip. And then all of a sudden, Gordon goes off script, slap. And Galvo's like, hey, bro, I thought that wasn't in the script, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? You're unprofessional, okay? Possibly. What is up, Texture Questioner? It's a weird name, but okay. You do you. But yeah, Fifth Cube, that... it's definitely entertainment at this point, so it does go more into our realm. Yeah, we were mentioning this very lightly, but Gordon has commented multiple times since, because that's Gordon's thing. But Gallo has said nothing. And that radio silence. That's pretty damning. It was set up for the Nate versus Gordon slap contest. What's a face puncher MMA? Yeah, that must be a hard name to have grabbed. Think about how many people face punch for a living and who probably wanted that Instagram name. And you were the one to get face puncher MMA. Well done. I don't know. Nate Diaz chiming in on a few of these things and saying, I'm not going to do the impression, but Nate Diaz was essentially saying, if you slap a person and don't get slapped in return, that's essentially a win. So when you have the leading expert in all things Stockton slap chiming in on it, it's hard to go against that. I see a note here that says, shaking my head, all of Atos is dark. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But okay. Don't make this weird. We're all just trying to enjoy this fucking dumb thing that happened. If it did happen and it was out of script, then you know what? It's the slap we all needed while still in the era of COVID. Yeah? Raph impressions only fans. Yeah, still, this is... We're going to have to come up with a different name than OnlyFans. Because the more I say it, the more the wife is going to be weirded out. As it is, you guys already do enough goofy shit that it is ridiculous to do this sometimes. But at least it's funny. LA2LB, I think you asked the best questions. Would you rather have a tail or horns? I guess a tail, right? Because the horns aren't going to go away. And, dude, nobody's going to grapple with me if I have fucking horns. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Oh, but if I did have the horns on the head, that would be extra pressure when I do get somebody into side control. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to say tail for right now. Got it, Code Speak. Either way, just pitch shit. Tell me what it is you like. I still don't... Here's where you're not wrong. Something where we charge people for Lucy in the right vicinity. So, we'll get there. I see a note from Shango that says, I got gain. Okay. I told everybody I would come up with my prediction. I think I'm going to go with you on this one, Shango. Who do you guys got? Tell me in the comment section. Tell me who you have. Let us hear it. Let us all see if we have a consensus here. I have a feeling some of you are going for Rosenstruck, though. Let's see. Let's also go through Gain's last few fights. Unsang Rios coming in with Gain as well. There's a whole Gain gang. All right, let's see where he left off. Gain is undefeated, has the win over Junior Dos Santos. Forgot about that. That was a bit ago. Tanner Balser. Okay. But Jairzinho also has a win over Junior Dos Santos. Loss against Francis Nagano, but wins over Alistair Overeem, Andrei Arlovsky, and more. Yeah, we fought the same guy twice. His first two professional MMA fights were against the same guy, and the guy lost to him in 2 minutes in the first round, and then they said, you know what's going to sound like a second time that's really fun to do? That. I see. Listen, Sven. Just because people tell you that you don't pick well, doesn't mean that you can just give a prediction that says I'm going KO. Either way. Rude. Not respecting the sanctity of this thing. Rude indeed. It is good to see and hear from all of you, though. Appreciate it. Taylor horns. It's still the very funny question. All right, let me make sure I share this over on all the things. If you guys give us a like and a share over on Facebook, we'll give you a toast on air. We're starting to run out of time. So get them in. Let me see. Last thing to remind people. And then we're off to the races, kids, for the final fight of the night. And my neighbor is feeling his emotional R&B music here tonight. And while it's only like moderately indifferent to me, I know the people who are below him hate it. And actually kind of worth it. Top 3 rappers. Oh, shit. Okay. This one might have to be a multi-week one. Because off the top of my head right now, people who I love personally are like Nas, Q-Tip, and somebody from the old school, but I don't want to go old school. If I did Q-Tip, I like those two. So let's go with those two for right now. I'll come back to a third one later. But those are two of like all-time favorites. Is this thing to Post Malone? This dude is feeling his feels, though. Because, like, I guess the weird part is it says bless you. Appreciate it. What happens when this dude plays his music? It's like, it's one thing if he plays it at 4 p.m., but on a Saturday night when he plays blaring R&B music, all I think of is, are you okay? Like, do you need a hug or something? I can't give you one because COVID. But, like, are you okay? It's very weird. But yes, the fact that he is the bane of the people who live below us existence. Best gift. All right, I see that Sven actually came through at the very end and put in a prediction at the risk of being Sven, which, yes, we have turned into an actual, are we saying verb on this one? Or is that more of an adjective? Either way, we're just going to do it that way. Incomplete. Holy shit. Looking at some of the kickboxing record, though. Allison, now Gain wins. I mean, it doesn't hurt me. I'm the one that's going for Gain, along with the Gain gang. Dude, 76 wins, 64 TKOs, and 8 losses in his kickboxing career. Rosenstruck, yeah, I remember seeing him ages ago. I don't want to change my answer, but I kind of do, but I'm not. I'm just going to go with it. Have you ever gone to HR for something? Now this feels like somebody from one of my previous works is like asking this. No, I actually have not. No. Double checking. I was like, wait, I've managed some people, so have I ever had to do that? No. But I've known people who've had to. I've known people who have made dumb decisions to go bitch about something that is not an actual issue. Have I seen him fight? God damn, dude. But just 76 wins is always concerning. I don't care how you are. Gain has such a good record that I respect it, but yeah, Jarzinho's, that's a fucking tough fight for him to win. All right, Bruce. Sell this shit, sir. Jarzinho looks like Damon Wayans at the Great White hype. Yeah. I could see that. It is funny the difference between getting in shape, like boxing shape for a movie in the 90s versus now, because when I looked at Damon Wayans back then, I thought, oh man, he got into shape. If you compare that to what they have to do now to make like a boxing movie, not the same. That's why if I ever have to get into shape for one of these things, I'm going to be like, Sven, what am I supposed to do? Tell me the things I can eat, and then I'm going to probably still eat them, but tell me what I'm supposed to not eat. And then I'm going to wink at you like, sure, I'm not going to eat that. I just hope they don't stare and dance around the whole time because of the punching power of one another. I don't know, dude. I don't particularly like standing in the way of somebody who punches really hard either. I don't know that I would do it. We'll see what they do. Maybe it's going to be a banger. I just find it hard-pressed for somebody who's in kickboxing to not do... Do you just fist bump me before they asked you to fist bump me? We already fist bump. Why are you doing that now? Yeah, I for sure got you covered. Yeah, okay. Appreciate you, Sven. I think the first thing that they do on those, like, actors who get in shape is they go, you have to say all the things you eat. The moment I go over to Sven, I go, I don't want to tell you what I eat. Is that possible to do? Anyway, we're off to the races. 4:50 on my clock. Rosenstruck in the green, and then you've got Gain in the blue. Rosenstruck already starting aggressively. Gain trying to be light on his feet. Bouncing a little bit more in and out here. Starts with a kick. Doesn't really connect on anything just yet. Yeah, Rosenstruck. Oh, nice little jab there by Gain. You got Bisping over on the commentary, putting over the big-manedness of one Gain. So now they're talking about weight cuts and how that means. Gain means one in Spanish. Can't lose. LA2LBS, have you had escargot? I think once or twice, yeah. That's that shit, though, that whenever they bring you, I go, how much is this and why would people pay for this? I don't need this. Thank you for offering, though. Well, so far you're getting your wish on them standing around, so we'll see if that comes through. But, again, look at the power, though, just of Rosenstruck. I don't trust any part of that, man. If Gain's smart, he's able to use a little bit of his reach to make it a problem for Rosenstruck to want to come on in. Let's see if he utilizes some kicks, keeps him at a little bit of distance. I just think that Rosenstruck is being very cautious and very observant of the game thus far in. Kick again over by Gain. Oh god, this is 5 rounds. Fascinating. Yeah, we might be at this pace for at least another round, potentially. We'll see where this one heads on out. Yeah. MMA Fighting says, the big men still feeling each other out. Which is a sentence that they actually just typed. Imagine being at your computer, being like, the big men. Am I writing fan fiction at this point? Weird. Okay. 2:20 left in round number 1. Nice catch there. Rosenstruck charges in. Gain sidesteps just in the nick of time because still don't like how powerful that dude is. That is, if I'm being honest, one of the weirder, yes, I got a low blow, but I'm going to hit my cup a couple times just to let you know my dick resides in this section. Please don't. 150 on the clock. Gain also kind of looks like the homeboy Elliot Marshall that we know. Just taller. Why are we bombing Syria? That's not my pay grade, dude. Come on. You think that I have the answer for that? All right, this is probably the better game plan for Gain, who's pushing up Rosenstruck against the cage. Rosenstruck still in that like realm of seeing what happens as a result of it. Now you're seeing a little bit of head posturing by Gain. Has still the one underhook on the left-hand side. Good head positioning here by both gentlemen. Because you're seeing Rosenstruck, for as awkward as he is at being pressed against it, making a little bit of headway. Now he has one underhook. He probably won't get that second one without a huge amount of effort in it. So this might be where we're at for the next 30 seconds, which will close out round number 1. But both Intel, ugh. Yeah, I don't want any part of that dude's elbows coming down on me. Gain does get the takedown. To be fair, that might be enough to kind of score him the round. Talking about a very tepid first round, a quasi takedown using the cage will probably be enough. At this point, it looks more like Gain is putting Rosenstruck on a timeout. And that's also in that weird section of the cage where you're like, can I knee him from here? Do we do that? 3 significant fist pumps. That's actually the best way to say it. It says, Rosenstruck def, not trying to be here. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a great place for him, dude. It doesn't look comfortable getting back up. And I think part of it is, you know, when you can keep a stance of everything's fine and I don't have to worry about this sort of shit. When somebody has you postured against the cage and you can't move, you can't be as chill as you are when you're standing in front of them and not afraid. That's just 2 very different areas. When he's like, this doesn't bug me. I'm up against the cage. Oh, hold on. No, this concerns me now. I'm starting to... Shit. Oh, I'm fine. It's a bit. Wife was legitimately concerned because she heard the chair creaking. Acting. Round 2. Here we go. All right. Looks like Bisping was talking a little bit about the wrestling, so they're probably going to bring up the fact that Gain's potentially going to feel a little more confident. And yes, you're already seeing some of the folks on the little tweets there saying 10-9 for Gain, and that's not going to say out too much of what the fight is really looking like, honestly, because there wasn't too much action all the way through. God damn it, Shango. 3 significant fist bumps. That's so good. Don't be surprised if I use that joke in one of these shows in the future. I don't think I'll use it now. Are you going to watch March Madness? I typically don't want to, like, have a ton of other things. It depends, because I think it's going to be in that weird time where shows are on a break. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of it, but I don't get as invested as I used to be. In college, I used to do all the brackets and all that sort of stuff. I love compulsive gambler. I love that stuff. But it also can be time consuming. So just depends on the schedule. But there have been years where I just wouldn't even pay attention. You should know, though, March Madness is essentially how the podcast started. It was one of the first things that Kevin and I on Verbal Tap talked about. When we were at a similar place and we were both making small talk about it. And that's when I realized this guy sucks. I don't like him. He's wrong. And that's how the show started all those years ago. Nice combination there by Gain. Makes not only some connection on the outside leg, but actually connected on the chin. Three minutes left to go in round number 2. You're seeing Gain looking pretty confident here. Isaiah's complimenting the jab. I would agree with that. Man, people who have a very solid jab are very, very tricky to keep a hold on. Because we saw how important the jab was to somebody like one Kamaru Usman recently. And I love how people are like, dude, all they want to learn now is the jab. And I'm like, bro, I don't think all of us have Kamaru Usman's jab. What's up, Carlos William Reyes Wallace? Okay. Add that one to the significant fist bump count. Last 2 minutes of round number 2. Yeah, I think Rosenstruck's just a little off his game plan here. Nice. Gane looked like he was going to try and shoot in for something. Opted to hold for a second when Rosenstruck seemed a little erratic on his movement. Stood his ground. Got him on up over to the cage. Has the one underhook. Kind of that power underhook. Now, Rosenstruck trying to pummel back in, but it's just not what you need in a cage. Best Kevin Smith movie. Huh. I think most people would say Clerks. Ooh. No shit. Gane was looking for a rear naked choke, and Rosenstruck's like, don't you ever try to choke me. That is not fair in a mixed martial arts fight. Everybody knows that. Yeah, Gane's mixing it up nicely. Gane, more MMA. Yeah, absolutely. I just think part of it is Rosenstruck not wanting to leave himself too open to somebody that he doesn't really have a game plan for. So yeah, look at the significant strikes, 29-12. Rosenstruck seems more limited, which is strange because I wonder how much him being outside of having that kickboxing experience kind of makes him say, like, they're just different angles that you cut inside of a ring than you would inside of this octagon. There's so much more open space. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Sven. Last 10 seconds. Gane kind of keeping his arms down, waiting for Rosenstruck to kind of come in maybe a little bit more, but instead that time's going to expire, and Rosenstruck won't even throw as much of a punch within the last 40 seconds of that one. All right, back to the question. Best Kevin Smith movie. I don't think it's Mallrats. Is it? Most people are supposed to say, I think critically, isn't it supposed to be the Joey Lauren Adams as a lesbian one? I think most people say like that's his best one. Here in our household, we do have an appreciation for Zach and Miri Make a Porno, just from a like enjoyment from an audience perspective. Yeah, but I grew up with Mallrats, man. Mallrats is a weird ass movie, and it just kind of makes sense in that world. Oh, Dogma, that's good too. Yeah, good call on that one. Sorry, I was like, what the fuck am I not remembering right now? Dogma's silly as fuck, and that cast is bonkers, dude. Alan Rickman as an angel is one of the best decisions of all time. I see a Dogma in Clerks 2. Clerks 2 is like... Clerks 2 maybe adds up a little bit more on the humor side, but like Clerks just... Clerks is a solid independent movie, no matter how you cut it. It's just good. The threat of that takedown in his head. Yeah, absolutely, Sven. Thank you, guys. I'm glad we outsourced that Kevin Smith one. I wouldn't have felt good if I had gone back and read Dogma and been like, what the fuck? How did I forget that? Strange. Also, George Carlin. Come on. Yoga Horsers. Isaiah coming in with the warning saying, I don't know if this is going all 5 rounds. It's a decent call. What's up, Rob Kane? It says, looked low to kick high kick. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good switch that you tall people can do, Sven. So I don't want to hear anything about it. Some of us are so short that even when we kick high, it's still low. Bisping now putting over the jab, and there's a switch of stance over here. Look at this, though. 34 on distance strikes for Gane to Rosenstruck's 9. And what's up, Frets and Alves? The dog is throwing a protest, by the way, because she is making her own tennis ball hard to find for herself. She buries it under the couch and goes, "I need help." So, if you wonder why you hear a dog barking, it's not because we are neglecting her for a real reason. All right. Well, you are seeing Rosenstruck look a little more brave on trying to connect here. I think he's realized, yo, I got to do more in this fight. We've already gotten to round number 3. Gain is already ahead by all of the measures. And it says, is getting a ball shot and not taking a timeout big dick energy? It's something. I think the opposite of big dick energy, isn't that? Don't they call it like small dick energy? I don't know. I would say it has nothing to do with the particular dick energy in that sense. But we'll see. Remains to be seen. We may outsource that one to the crowd. Uh, 220 left in round 3. It says Gain looks like Anthony Joshua's bald MMA twin. I can kind of see that. I mean, Gain's put together a solid fight thus far in, though. I have to give it to him, man. Even as, like, much as he was feeling out Rosenstruck in that first round, he's not afraid of him, man. I mean, he understands his power and he respects it in a smart enough way. He's mixed it up. He's gotten all around, as Sven put, better MMA fighter all around so far. But you do kind of get the sense that Rosenstruck, the only way he's going to win is by a real knockout here. Still possible, just he's not really pulling the trigger. Gain looks like he wants a left head kick. I'll keep an eye on that there. I can maybe see you setting that one up. Nice. Yeah, even Gain keeping these, like, these distance strikes. Nice movement there. Beautifully read. Not only when he gets those jabs and he, like, steps back with them, he's very good at making sure he protects his distance. I'm curious if Rosenstruck thinks that he can actually call the timeouts on some of these exchanges. Because that is bold to be able to look like, no, Herb, I've got it. We need a timeout. I'm watching this. I'm watching me in this fight, and time. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta give it. Ooh, nice. Nice exchange by both gents there. I was gonna compliment that. What's up, Ognormal? Yeah. Now Rosenstruck's starting to be a little bit more heavy with his hands. Look at him. Pressing forward. Going a little bit more for some of these haymakers. And maybe in the process, as he steps forward, leaving himself so open that Gain knows to read it, goes for those single legs each time. It's well done. Hiya, back to you. Oh, my friends. It's been a good day for MMA so far. I think we've made the most out of this pretty okay day of fights. We've gotten a lot of our friends to show up. We still got 2 rounds potentially left of this fight. Plus, there's Canelo. Never forget that. So, I think we're doing good for ourselves here. Gain looking very calm, composed. Did I hear one of them on there talk about take a tinkle? Herb Dean talking about keeping the fingers out of the eye for Gain. Sure. Or we should really just call that the John Jones warning, right? All right. Back in round number 4, 4:45 on my clock. Let's see if that is close to where you guys are at. Switching of the stance over by Gain. Rosenstruck coming in with a couple kicks to his own. See him press row on the tweets. Talking about 30-27 Gain thus far in. Cannot disagree with any of that. Nice. Sven, can you tell me what your thoughts on the reach on this are? Because is there some consideration to the fact that Rosenstruck is maybe just a little unnerved by Gain's reach and his ability to get in, get out quickly, and utilize that reach so he's never in danger? I'll take your thoughts whenever you're free. Not like you're in charge or you're like required to do this, but like, what else are you doing? Because every time I watch him in this, ooh, no. Yeah, he's just holding tight. I think he has a similar reach. Maybe. I'll have to go back and look at the official tail of the tape. If that's the case, he is curled up his body like a caterpillar to keep it close to it. Look at this. Head, body, leg strikes. Gain 29 or 21-9, 14-1, and 26-12. And it says Gain looks more in control, maybe due to his footwork. I don't disagree with you on that. And his variety of attacks. Variety of attacks is obviously included in that. I was just on the side of, okay, Rosenstruck obviously isn't throwing out a ton of volume. And you kind of know it's only going to come of one of two areas for him to get any kind of offense going here. Having considered that, even in that last round when he was letting go, it was still very close to his own body, almost like he needs him to be within that space without actually advancing to get close enough in the range he needs to hit him. So it's almost like staying flat-footed where you are and saying, could you please come over here so that I could hit you? It would be really helpful to me if you walk into my range with my hands, because I just, you're far, you hit me. I don't want to. I'm good. What's up, Leo 530 or 0530? Woo. Well, minute 50 left in round number 4. And we've reached the point where Gain is starting to wind up the outside hand. So I think we heard somebody yell out rope-a-dope. Nope. Yeah. Now. Yeah. Well, we're back to, according to Woods' question, which is in regards to what kind of energy is that? Is that? Yeah, I don't think that was a... listen, I'm not the expert here. I don't want to say. It says, what? That was clean in the belly. You forget the fact that this whole fight, Rosenstruck has been very clear about saying, like, no, Herb Dean, that was owie in the bad place. Please separate us. Bisbig, both guys need to turn it up. I mean, Gain doesn't have to do shit at this point. Gain can coast to a decision if he so chooses. I don't know if that's the best choice on the matter, but it is a choice you could take. Or as Shango Dixon likes to say, gut nuts. Which, hashtag gut nuts. Not bad. Definitely sounds like the joke in an Adam Sandler movie. 32 seconds in round number 4. For round 5, maybe they can just tell us who won and replay a greatest hits clip of the Pedro and Rivera fight. Not against that. Gaining control, absolutely. Clackers getting hit. Did he literally just off-balance him by a one-handed game of Mercy that just barely played for a second? Because that is fascinating. All right. Round number 5. We got another comment on the Milton and I bit on the TikTok. The TikTok's just a different audience. Y'all, we're learning as we go. But somebody just put on that one, good acting. Yeah, no shit. I'm 35 seconds behind you because I'm watching illegally. Don't say that out loud. Am I going to get busted by Dana? I don't think so. I think these fights are too low profile that Dana's probably taking the night off. I don't think there are going to be any press row people saying, tonight they illegally streamed it. Yes, you are. This is why we don't leave it to the crowd to outsource the questions. Yes, as Ognormal immediately reports him. What's the website? Holy shit. Dana, if you're watching this or your FBI agent is watching this, just remember, we here at Grappling Hour have nothing to do with this. The streams reflected in this broadcast do not reflect those of Verbal Tap or Grappling Hour Industries. Busted by Dana or busted on Dana? That's a weird phrase, y'all. Listen, dude, you're in a space. You asked about big dick energy with cup sizes. Now you're talking about busting on people. I don't know if you get any more comments for the rest of the show. 423 is where I'm at right now. Hopefully you guys are in that vague region. Oh no, Haps said they shut yours down. Haps, are you relying on us to walk you through it? As long as that doesn't kill our business here, I don't really care where you guys watch it. But if we are doing a service, we're happening there. John Bones Jones says, these boys get used to the pushing at this pace. All the standing around ain't going to fly when daddy comes home. Okay. Nice elbow there. I mean, here's what John Jones isn't wrong about. He is a smaller person coming into a bigger division, so he would definitely potentially bring in a different kind of speed that they're used to. What is up, Jugs? I don't know how to say that one. Hoffa714. Thanks for joining us. We're watching UFC Vegas 20. My name's Rafa Esparza. All right. Last 3 minutes of the fight. Well, listen. We love to give John Jones shit, but he's not wrong in the terms of pace that this fight has not been. We're just struggling with it, guys. We're doing our best to try and get around it. But you do have to acknowledge the fact that Gain has been firmly in control of this fight the entire way through. What's up, Chance? Can you remember a more lackluster card? One of the fizzled fights... Oh, was one of the fizzled fights the sizzle? It's a weird thing. You look like you get stuck in Snoop Dogg shizzle language. No one can talk to you anymore. Listen, dude, we know Vince. I'm not going to call one of Vince's cards a lackluster card. I would say Rivera and Munoz. It was great. It was fun. Alma, you are awesome, Raf. Thank you very much. Chance Snyder, I can't believe I didn't go out to watch this. I feel for you, Chance. And then, yeah, I know, guys. Listen, this is not a barn burner. This card was rough. But this is why we get together. You know, this is all of us coming together as a group. Good or bad fights. Making the most of it. Living our dreams. You guys ain't got any other cliches I can say. Rivera versus Munoz was worth it, I suppose. It was. It saved this card. And Vince fighting on it. He's the homie. I will always support our ride and die friends. It's the most entertaining. Thank you. We do our best to try and make shitty cards digestible. And there's been a lot of different things we've talked about tonight, if we're being honest. Oh, here we go. Now we're seeing Rosenstruck really under pressure. There's a grip on the back, a trip that almost happens, and it says, give Rivera and Munoz all of the bonuses, $200,000 each for both. Man, it's almost like you didn't see they were fighting in the UFC. Crazy. And especially now that we don't get reports on how much they make. That's the most ridiculous thing. 20 seconds left to go in a fight that, I mean, honestly, if they had ended it at round 3, we would have been fine. We already knew who was going to win. Not much changed in those other 2 rounds. I don't know. Maybe there's a buzzer we can hit where we just go, seen enough, ended on the 3. Nope, does not have to be a 5-rounder. We, America, vote no. Told you Gain was going to win. I said Gain was going to win. Stop that. You know what's going to be great is when we do have Sven on next week. Not only will he give you the kind of expert analysis that you would expect if you go to Strength Mobility, which, by the way, amazing gym, amazing analysis. But he's also really funny and nice, and he's going to give you guys great analysis next week when we do our Day of Champions fight companion. Because, dude, they have 3 championship fights on that one. And you might think to yourself, 3 championship fights on one card sounds like they're all kind of burning their bridges for one pay-per-view. And I would say to you, probably. Shango Dixon writes, lackluster. The main event is like Giant Gonzalez and Undertaker WrestleMania 9. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have much for that other than, yeah. Well, I'm also kind of curious what they're going to talk to Gain about, so I'm not going to cheers this one, because obviously, but we can take care of some issues right now. Just remember, we have a lot of stuff coming up. Good night. Thank you for making it funnier. Appreciate you guys. Give us some love. Follow us at Grappling Hour on all of our major platforms. We're talking Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Twitch, and then follow us at Grappling Hour and Verbal Tapcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. And if you would be so nice, give us a full 5-star review over on our Apple Podcast page. Thank you, sir. Great show. Appreciate you all. You guys are so amazing. Kit, you show up now? What the fuck, dude? We're literally closing up shop. I'm starting to close it down. I'm just waiting for Gain to say a few words of how boring his fight was, and then we can call it a night. Shango, appreciate you. Of course, and look at Kit. He left. But Kit is behind the Jiu-Jitsu Times, and they're the people who are also helping to create that Gordon Galvo moment going viral, in addition to all of you. All right. What do I need to say? Follow us at all those places, Verbal Tap and Verbal Tapcast and Grappling Hour, all those platforms. Plus, we got a new installment of Over Under Kevin coming out sooner than later. We'll get you an official date on when that's coming out a little bit later. Could be Monday. We'll see. And we'll also be doing some more interviews for Grappling Hour, talking with some folks and getting some notes on all of the things that are happening on Press Row. I like that they just handed Gain his phone immediately outside of the octagon. That looks like something they would do to me and be like, hey, Raph, you need to see this. Oh, who made this meme? I don't approve of this. Get this off the internet. At least make it funny. Like, if you're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna meme how boring this fight was, then, like, make it funny. Like, it was just my thing. Poor Gain. I don't even know if he's gonna be happy about his win. Man, That faux rear naked choke, though, got us all way too excited because I go, he's not even technically under the chin, but in this context, maybe it would work. And I don't think they're going to talk to him. I think they just cleared him out. Nope, just kidding. They're just taking forever to talk to him. Oh, he put on a shirt, too. Good for him. Felder using the part of his voice that's a little bored to ask him, your first 5-round fight, tell us a little bit about it. And he said he feels a little bit like this because he didn't make a big show for the fans. So he goes, listen, I got a big win, so I'm really happy for that. If you're going to talk like this right now, and I get it, he's French. I'm not going to give him shit for it. But he admits it wasn't a great show for the fans. I think it's kind of our way to probably, like, we can jam out. We don't need to stay for this. So, yes, you did say Gaines sounds like Andre the Giant. Sure. Anybody want a peanut? Of course, we know that shit. I'm gonna leave. Love y'all. It's been fun. Check out the new episode of Verbal Tap. Give us the love on all of the different social media platforms. Check out for new episodes and interviews later this week and over under Kevin. My name's Rafa Esparza. It's been a great day for grappling. Cody Steele, what the fuck are you doing now? I'm signing off. Cody, it's good to see you. Lumen, good to see you as well. Appreciate you guys. Been here for too long. Call it a night. Love y'all. Peace. And it's been a great day for grappling, etc., etc. And